different kinds of playstyles. You've mentioned how Marky is the more aggressive one and Celestial is more the passive one. So let's see how that's going to turn out later on. But of course, now that we've broken down the players and what or who to watch out for, I'm kind of curious about how we're going to come into this series, best of 5 series, 7.14. Remember, Kane is banned. He's not going to be played at all in this tournament. But with all the changes that's going to be happening or applied into this series, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen these last 2 teams. The last time we saw TME rather, was almost a month ago. Meanwhile, Mineski, they had the gauntlet, but that was in 7.13, and 7.14 is a big patch, like you said. I think 2 things come to mind when you think of the 7.14 patch. One of them is tanks, and the other one is the lethality changes. In regards to the tanks, I think the bigger changes are how the itemization has started to turn out for these tanks. A lot of the items work very heavily into the tank's favors. For example, you have the Gargoyle Stone Play into the Righteous Glory, which is extremely effective right now. It allows tanks to initiate from very far distances. And furthermore, the Cinderhulk changes in the patch, making it very fast for tank junglers to clear the jungle almost the same rate that carry junglers and fast clears such as Elise would. So I'm expecting a lot of tanks in the top lane, tanks in the jungle, and even tanks in the support. In particular, top lane, I'm thinking of Maokai, Cho'Gath, Shen. We've seen a lot of Shen from JLC, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Mineski has a planner against it, because JLC has been playing Shen for so many games this split, and it's something that TME really likes to pick. You always see them first pick that Shen in the regular season, so personally, Shen's something that we need to look out for. We haven't seen any Maokai at all this split, so I'm also hopefully expecting a Maokai to be played by either JLC or Kaigu. I know JLC did really like that Maokai back when it was meta, so here's to hoping for that. In the jungle, you can also play Maokai, Cho'Gath, and the other champions I mentioned, including Gragas. I feel Gragas is a really strong jungler right now alongside those other 2. And I still think that Elise is going to be a very high priority, especially when you're against James. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see TME ban out the Elise, seeing as they are blue side in this first game. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the supports, no longer are the days of the Karma, of the Lulu. It's definitely a very tank-centric meta with a lot of sustain and shields. In particular, the newer champions that really stand out, Alistar, Taric, and Janna. Those are what I'm expecting to see a lot. And we can't forget the Thresh of Rox and TG. I'm definitely expecting them to take that either first pick for the blue side or first pick for that red side. That's going to be a very important champion to watch out for. And I'm just looking forward to it. And I almost forgot, the lethality changes.
Lethality, all right,
so
let's get into that.
When people think of 7.14, you read the patch notes, you immediately think, wow, these changes are insane to lethality. Zed's going to be really strong, Talon's going to be really strong, and when we look at LCK, we look at NALCS, we haven't really seen much Zed or Talon or those other assassins with lethality, but what we have seen is a bit of Jace. I think Jace is something to really look out for, and it's something that Kaigu is very familiar with. He's really proficient at those split push champions. And if you think about it, JLC, he really likes the Shen. He's really into that split push. You need something that can counter the Shen. And I think the Jace is something that can really match up with that, especially given how strong lethality, how strong Duskblade is, how strong Youmu's is. And yeah, I mean, lots of changes this patch, and I'm excited to see how these teams decide to respond to it.
Yeah, it is indeed a big patch. Covered a lot, making sure, highlighting the tank meta, the lethality changes. But now that you've already broken that down, who do you think, which team actually benefits from this sort of changes?
To be honest, I think TME benefits quite a bit. If you take a look at what champions are considered strong from the general means and what champions that TME have been playing, it kind of aligns in a way. Like I said earlier, tanks are very strong in the top lane. We saw in the sneak peek interviews, like on YouTube, on the Garena PH, that JLC really likes playing those tanks for his team and just helping his team out in that sort of way. And of course, Saya is still a very strong pick in that bottom lane. A lot of Marky's favorite picks, such as Saya and Caitlyn, are extremely strong in this patch. So I'm expecting a lot of Saya, Caitlyn, Tristana as well in the bottom lane. Maybe Kalista. Kalista is very strong as well.
Yes.
And I think overall it just favors TME. But at the same time, Mineski is a very versatile team. They're very good at adapting, and I think they have what it takes.
Man, I mean, you guys really put up a good argument.
Yeah.
There's really no telling who's going to win. Again, this is a best-of-5 series. But if you look at what happened before, Mineski is really used to these best-of-5s. TME, this is their first time playing in, a best-of-5 series at the finale for PGS. So with that in mind, in terms of stamina, I feel like, I remember we were talking about how Mineski have a history of reverse sweeping opponents, right? So how do you think that's going to pan out? Do you think, in terms of early game series, how does stamina fare between these two teams? What do you think?
For me, I think that TME, they have been out of it in a way. They haven't played a single game officially on PGS for almost a month. So I think that they have been spending their time. I'd like to hope that they've been spending that past month training in best of 5s, because one thing, winning PGS is, sure, it's easy because you have to just go through a double round robin into the gauntlet. But if you are actually undefeated, you immediately go to Rampage, right?
Yes.
So we haven't actually seen how they'll fare in the best of 5. Like, best of 3 is a sprint, but the best of 5 is a marathon. It's not only a test of how good you can play, but how good you can play in multiple games.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's super exhausting.
I'm hoping that they did put in the prep time to actually work on not just their compositions, their mechanics, but also, practicing those really long games where it takes like 60 minutes, because this is what I feel will happen come this series.
Yeah, this is why I'm very, very excited about the finals. But now, I'm also excited about this portion of the Analyst Couch. Predictions time. All right, since, Iconic is right here beside me, he will go first. Who do you think is going to be the winner of the PGS finals?
For me, I think it's Mineski. So
Why?
This one goes down first. So initially, I think Mineski can win it 3-0. But I do believe in TME, and that's 1 month of practice. I think they can take 2 games off of Mineski, but Mineski will reverse sweep Game 4, Game 5.
Wow. Best of 5 series.
Yeah.
We'll see though. Prediction. But your main prediction is 3-0, correct?
3-2.
3-2. 3-2. All right. Mineski, 3-2. How about you, Neep?
For me personally, like deep down in my heart, I really want TME to win, because if we remember a year ago, right on this stage, JLC was actually the one that got reverse sweep in this series, just how Eco was talking about earlier. And I think it'd be nice for JLC to finally come back to the stage and take that victory after losing so crushingly against AEX.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, like up here, that it's going to be Mineski who's going to come out on top for similar reasons. I feel Mineski is a very versatile team, and they have the experience in this best of 5. They just came back from Rift Rivals, which is an extremely intense and very stressful environment. So with that in mind, I think they have what it takes to maintain that and use what they've learned from Rift Rivals with the addition of their new environment with Celestial and take the victory. So I'm going to have to go with Mineski win. I'd say 3-1.
3-1. 3-2, 3-1. Excellent argument. I mean, international experience, stamina-wise, versatile team. But now, we've got one more person left to actually give the verdict on predictions. Who do you think is going to win, Arctic?
Man, you know what? The funny thing is that I'm actually feeling nerves right now because I'm still somewhat undecided in a way. But I'll tell you one thing. Iconic and Neep, they bring up great arguments onto why Mineski, from a logical standpoint, would potentially win Rampage, and I wouldn't be surprised in a way. But then again, as someone that has watched the PGS from the start of the split up until Rampage, I gotta hand it to my boys on Team Manila Eagles. I mean, I'll be honest, this is the reason I'm sporting red and black here in the first place.
Wow.
So I'm such a fan of Exosen, I'm such a fan of Celestial, but I firmly believe that we need new teams to step up to represent us in the GPL. 3-2, hashtag Team Manila Eagles.
Wow. So there you have it. 2-1 here. The kind of sort of split, but got outnumbered by Iconic and Neep. And I really can't tell as well. I mean, I'll be unfair. I'll be half and half. Sorry, I'll be unfair here. But you know what? I'm really excited to watch the matches right now. So hindi ko na to patatagalin pa. But before we head on to our first game between the Manila Eagles versus Mineski, let's check out a video from our sponsors.
As one, we are individuals, but together, we stand strong. We have influence. We are Legion. Join us.
이제 가끔 팀원들이랑 얘기를 할 때 제가 ADC라서 이제 원딜이라서 이제 모든 상황을 다 이제 통제하기는 힘들어가지고 가끔 좀 세세한 부분에 오거나 아니면은 가끔 무슨 말을 해야 할지 안 떠오를 때가 있어요. 단어가 이제 어떤 단어가 맞는 단어인지를 기억이 잘 안 나서 가끔 무슨 말을 해야 할지 모를 때도 있어요. 그리고 그래서 이제 가끔 오더가 좀 완벽하지 않을 때도 있고 단어가 또 생각 안 나고 막 좀 초단위의 오더가 좀 힘들긴 해요. 정말 긴박한 순간에 말이 떠오르지 않아서 가끔 놓치는 타이밍이 있어요. 놓치는 순간에. 처음 팀에 들어왔을 때 솔직히 좀 걱정거리가 아예 없진 않았는데 약간 이제 긴장도 되고 떨림도 되고 그렇게 팀에 들어왔는데 처음 팀에 들어왔을 때 이제 팀원들이 되게 잘 챙겨주더라고요. 제가 불편한 것도 좀 있고 그랬는데 이제 팀원들이 잘 챙겨줘서 또 이제 정말 친절해서 팀원들이 다 이제 절 대해주는 게 정말 친절하게 대해줘서 제가 이제 좀 더 팀원들이랑 빨리 친해질 수 있었던 것 같고 그렇게 친해지니까 이제 좀 게임 들어가서도 좀 편하게 얘기하고 피드백도 좀 편해지고 그래가지고 이제 팀원 생활에 좀 더 빨리 적응할 수 있었던 것 같아요. 네, 그래서 성적도 아마 잘 낼 수 있었던 게 아마 팀원들이 다 친절하고 다 착하고 잘 챙겨줘가지고 제가 팀 생활에 빨리 적응할 수 있게 많이 도와줘서 이게 잘 된 것 같습니다. 제가 이제 좀 경기를 TME 경기랑 이제 미네스키 경기를 이제 팀원들이 보여줘서 봤는데 이제 팀 파이팅은 서로 비슷한 것 같아요. 팀 파이팅에 있어서는 서로 비슷한데 이제 TME가 약간 2대2나 3대3 쪽이 조금 강할 것 같고 이제 그래서 저희는 좀 그런 걸 좀 피할 거고요. 그다음에 이제 저희가 이제 좀 그런 걸 잘하거든요. 이제 좀 똑똑하게 플레이한 스마트한 플레이를 잘해서 뱀픽이나 아니면은 운영, 마이크로 플레이, 매크로 플레이, 마크로 플레이 그런 쪽에서 이제 팀 게임 운영 쪽에서는 저희
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go as all roads will converge here. The PGS 2017 Summer Finals to conclude here in Rampage 2017. And we're going to be your shoutcasters. I am Shinbu with the one for an eye, my partner, Amplifier.
Yes, so grabe, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Gaya na sinabi ng mga host kanina, no? Weeks and weeks of tiring and tense play. Of course, Mineski also came from Rift Rivals. He represented us for Southeast Asia. And I don't know, it's just been a really crazy battle. And I think this is going to be possibly one of the best of fives we're going to see. Because I think both of these teams are kind of at the peak.
At the peak talaga.
Yes,
yes. Iba yung kwentuhan ngayon. Kasi ladies and gentlemen, cannot be denied. All of those analysts kanina, di ba? Ang vote natin was 2-1. Lahat sila, except for Coach Arctic, would be picking up Mineski. Okay? Just because of the state that Mineski is in, make that actually 3-1. Kasama rin si Amplifier and make that actually 4-1. Kasama rin po ako. As I'd be voting Mineski as well. Lahat po kami. We've seen the games. We've seen it. We've seen the changes that Celestial has brought into the team. And, you know, alam namin na yung Mineski, ito ngayon, ibang Mineski na nakikita natin. But, yung Team Manila Eagles, you cannot deny the fact that they have an undefeated run on the group stage.
Yes, grabe. That's really something you can't deny, no? And that's really what they're bringing, especially na matagal sila nawala sa PGS because they were just waiting at the finals since it was a gauntlet format. So yung Mineski, yun na nga, akala natin hindi sila makakaabot, but they made it all the way through the playoffs into the finals, and they clearly deserve this spot. So now we're going to see, do they deserve to be the champions again after winning in the spring split? But now we're hearing the pick and bans. Now we're going to take a look at the bans. So for Team Manila Eagles, Tam Kench and these banned on their side. Meanwhile, Mineski are going to ban Sejuani and Zach. So Tam Kench, this is a favorite of TG's now during the PGS. He played it, I believe, 6 times overall during the split. And these is also a favorite of James. He's also played a lot of times. He's played it 3 times.
So there you go. I'm also actually looking forward din as well of the Trash Badge. Trash and Damage Badge. Ano ngayon, mapipilitan na itong dalawang support natin, PG and Rox, to be picking up, you know, relatively new. Hindi yung kanilang pick na support na hawak.
Yes. Oo, kasi Rox played 2 supports very heavily during the group stage, no? Lulu and Thresh. So banning this Thresh, pretty central. And it's gonna affect the pick and ban a lot. Syndra being banned also by TME. Caitlyn, sobrang predictable na first pick yan. Syempre sa blue side, it's a very strong pick right now in the AD carry pool. Marky has also played it a lot with a lot of success. He has a 100% win rate on Caitlyn during the group stage. So now we're seeing Mineski, as the analysts have predicted. Syempre, kapag nawa yung Caitlyn, tanks are another very big thing in the current meta. So both Maokai, Cho'Gath, immediately, right off the bat, they're locked in.
This is the Korean meta. I
Yes.
just casted Pinoy cast coverage of SKT and Rocks Tigers casting. And laging ang pick dito ng Rocks Tigers, priority lagi, Cho'Gath and Maokai. But these are pretty standard stuff. You know, the thing about the game 1, ladies and gentlemen, is that eto yung, you have the luxury to not reveal that much. Parang you can only reveal kung ano yung na-expect ng team sa'yo. Pero this is also a tempo game. This is also a tempo game. Getting that victory or even that lose in game 1 would clearly affect all those remaining games kung makarating man tayo ng game 5.
Yeah, tsaka I believe we were talking about this with the analyst na yung game 1 na to, parang kakapaan sila eh.
Oo.
Kasi again, TME, because of the format, we didn't see them for a very long time. So Mineski, they only have a rough idea of what TME is going to play, but now they're really going to find out kung ano nga ba yung pinapractice ng TME. We're actually seeing Shen and Talia locked in. So Talia, that's a highly contested pick between both Trevor and Exo. It was Exo's favorite during the group stage, and Trevor takes that away. Shen is also JLC's favorite. He has a 100% win rate on that 6 times played during the group stage. And the final pick for the first rotation is Orianna.
Orianna, I'm very interested actually in the Orianna pick. At first, I was questioning it. I was favoring the Corky pick, but I'm starting to favor it in a sense na because of the shield of the Orianna. Alam natin yung tanks could be shielded as well. But the cool thing about Orianna is with this kind of composition from Mineski League of Legends, you have 2 very solid front lines. So the puzzle here for Team Manila Eagles is to actually how they can touch the backline.
Yeah.
So with the backline, all you need is a shield actually coming in from Orianna. Now we get second set of bans here.
Yeah, so now we're seeing Kog'Maw, Saya banned on TME side. So Kog'Maw is Celestial's comfort pick. Sobrang paborito niya yan kahit hindi siya masyado contested pick. It's really something Celestial's comfortable on, so TME decides to ban that. Saya is also a strong AD carry right now. And it's interesting that they banned that because Marky actually also loves that. So, but since they were able to get the Caitlyn, then they can just ban all of the other AD carries that Celestial plays. But Celestial still has the Kalista to jump to. Yeah, that's another strong pick as well right now. Braum and Lulu banned on Mineski's side. Those are both, of course, on Rox. They're also Rox's favorite supports. Lulu, again, 100% win rate naturally since they won all their games. And he played that 6 times. So now we'll see what will TME finalize. Oh, Morgana.
We got a Morgana for the support hero Rox. Now that is a very interesting reveal dito, ladies and gentlemen, by Team Manila Eagles reviewing actually the draft here of Rox. No Morgana.
No Morgana. So this is a new pick we're seeing from Rox. We haven't seen him play this the entire split. Gragas is, of course, a strong pick still in the jungle, so that's going over to Kops. And I believe Kops has played that 3 times, so it's one of his most played during the group stage. And then Mineski going for the Rakan, so it's a very good support as well, also with Kalista.
Yeah, Morgana may start to be like an okay pick, but I feel like she might be punished here by the Kalista. Kasi with the martial voice ng Kalista, napakadali. I-dodge ng Q dito ni Morgana using that passive. And the interesting part here, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's an okay pick against these tanky front lines of Mineski. Do they know that, of course, without the twisted advance, and actually, if someone did not receive any rupture, madali-daling tamaan ng Dark Fighting ng dalawang tanks na, and stopping them on their tracks should be enough.
Yeah, plus the Black Shield is actually really helpful on Caitlyn. Kasi kapag tinignan mo yung side of Mineski, sobrang daming CC. So in a single team fight, all the CC will be landing on Marky's Caitlyn for sure. So the Morgana will be able to help so that during team fights, they can ensure that Marky will be able to bring out as much damage as possible during a team fight. Pero nakita natin, no, yung composition ng Mineski, full on team fight and full on protecting Celestial, which is what we were expecting.
Sabi nga, it's very Korean. Maybe minus the Orianna.
Yeah.
Pero it's still a good pick up, just in my opinion. The interesting part here is that what they want to watch out, ito, ano lang tayo, ang binibreakdown natin dito would be the 5v5 collapse. But what about the possibility? And he can definitely rocks of roaming on the mid lane, right? Morgana is very threatening when visiting other lanes. Pagka-telegraph lang yung kanyang dark binding dito. Pero, you know, these are professional players. They have their way on making it for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, bago tayo pumasok sa ating laro, Muli namin papasalamatan lahat ng mga entities that made our Rampage 2017 possible. Rampage is presented to you by BLDT Smart. And of course, Garena, and is co-presented by Lenovo, Intel. Be sure to check their boots. Ang laki ng mga boots nila dyan. And of course, they have amazing stuff in store for you. Summoners and attendees of Rampage 2017 with major sponsors, Seagate Bloody, Transient, Bacchus Energy Drink, and HyperX.
Of course, special thanks to our event partners, Cooler Master, Razer, Aegon by AOC, Zagu, and Razer.
Yes, we'd like to thank our official hotel partner, Golden Wings Hotel Manila, and our mobile shopping app, Shopee, and to mention our stream partners, XSplit, and of course, Twitch. We are live on our stream. The biggest shout out sa mga team bahay dyan, and our media partners.
Yes, and we're also joined by our media partners, Otaku Asia, Otaku Events, Anime Play, .tv, Mineski.net, Esports Illustrated, WhenInManila.com, Rakista Radio, TR1 Entertainment, Esports Inquirer, Rappler, and GG Network.
This is it, Summoners. All roads converge here. The very best players in the Philippines facing up, concluding here at World Trade Center. Sino kaya ngayong gabi ang magiging bagong kampiyon?
Yes, and we have to keep in mind the big picture here, because if you guys recall, Worlds is coming up very soon.
Yes.
And the thing about Worlds is that because of what Gigabyte Marines did in the previous MSI, Southeast Asia has acquired 2 slots into the play-ins for Worlds. And that means that if any of these teams, TME or Mineski, are able to make it to the finals of GPL, which is upcoming, they will automatically be granted a slot into the play-ins for Worlds. So this is one of the biggest chances any Philippine team has had of getting into Worlds ever since Mineski in Season 3.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, wag na nating patagalin to as we head on to the game. Let's go! PGS Game 1 Best of 5 Summer Finals! Live from World Trade Center, Pasay City. Makikita nyo lahat ng Summoners ngayon as they witness the very best teams in the Philippines. Team Manila Eagles versus Mineski on this Game 1. Muli, every Summoner make some noise for the PGS Finals.
Alright, so let's see TME moving in actually, but they're all spotted on that side. Going over to the blue buff of Hammers.
PG and Celestial have a clear idea of what's up.
Okay, on the jungle. Yeah, they're all moving back. So kita-kita na Mineski lahat yun, no? They're gonna be moving over to the blue buff now since they were able to scout out TME's movement. And TME, no information there. So they have no idea right now where the rest of Mineski are. But they should know that blue buff isn't where Hammers is going to start.
Yeah,
so
that is still an information. That is still an information. Kapag kayo, mga kaibigan, naglagay kunyari kayo ng ward para siguro sa mga relatively new players natin, kahit wala kayong nakikitang champion doon, information pa rin yun.
At least you know that he's not starting there. So it's going to be Maokai starting at the Raptors. And we'll have to see. No? So looking at the team compositions, like I said earlier, yung Mineski, sobrang heavy ng engage niya. You're seeing champions like Maokai, Shogat, Rakan, Kalista, of course, with their ult. You're seeing champions that all want to rush in and go for the full-on 5v5. Meanwhile, JLC and the rest of his team, you know, Team Manila Eagles, medyo marami silang options, no? And the pick, they have the high ability to pick out champions. So, actually, TG, not there.
Okay, so considering the starting items here as well, we got lots of, actually pabenta ni Doran dito, Doran's Ring. Interestingly, not interestingly, rather, this is kind of very meta here for Chogat, especially if you're facing a Shen. Kaigo here with the Doran's Ring as well. The big difference here between Celestial taking a more conservative route, picking up the Doran Shield. Mentioned you got a Doran's Blade as well here mula kay Marky. That's gonna be the Dark Binding connecting. And Celestial will be the first blood falling into the hands of Brox Morgana.
And if we keep in mind yung interview kanina ni Celestial, he already said that he was afraid of skirmishes at bot lane. He knew that TME were, well, he thought the TME were better than them, so he would try to avoid skirmishes as much as possible. And nakita na nga natin, TME showing their prowess on this very oppressive bot lane of Caitlyn and Morgana, able to get that first blood.
Another dark biting here in the bottom lane. Baka pa-follow up pa si TG dito kay Celestial. Hindi pa nakakabalik si Celestial dito sa bottom lane. So, yep, nakapag no summoner spell burned on TG.
Nako, pero this is pretty dangerous for Mineski's bot lane behind by quite a lot of CS. And ito talaga yung worry eh. Once you give the Caitlyn first pick on blue side, you have to be ready to face a very hellish bot lane pressure. Otherwise, yun, ito nga yung mangyayari. Celesta may suffer a lot during the early game and Mineski will have to babysit Celestial a lot so that he can try to keep up with Marquis.
And what's so threatening about this bottom duo is that kapag mas malapit sa iyo yung Morgana, alam natin, yan nga, dark binding, di ba? Mas mababa yung travel time. So mas mahirap siya mahulaan. And it's like you're getting choked here, di ba? May the bottom duo about TME. Very likely I'd be expecting any casualty here in the top lane without anyone going ham all in. And not to mention, if there's a vision in the jungler, those are the keystone masteries.
Yes. And interesting thing, no? Again, like I was saying, so Mineski 5v5 full engage composition. Yung TME naman, they look like a pick composition, so you have a lot of abilities that can single out targets. And sobrang delikado actually na mag-snowball itong TME because if Marquis and Rox get out of control and they start to siege and they start to roam, Trevor and JLC with their semi-global ults will really create chaos in the map, and that might hinder Celestial from catching up in this bot lane. So Mineski, they have to keep their lanes in control and not let things get too out of hand because once TME, you know, really starts to snowball, Celestial will have a hard time.
And not to mention, pag-abot ng mid-game, baka hindi ready sila Hamis dito at si Kaido of the damage that coming from Marquis. So far, in terms of CS, siguro ang pinaka-visible dito would be in the hands of Marquis because of course with the first blood on Celestial, that's one full wave, more than one full wave lead in terms of CS against the ADC of Mineski. Let's see on this one.
For the side push, actually hindi siya kita, so
yeah.
Rox trying to just put down pressure, maybe dark binding into body slam, but pili ko ramdam na yun ng Mineski, so they're gonna be backing off a bit. Meanwhile, James still farming in the jungle and looking at the CS. Oh, actually Exosen with a nice CS lead, so 10 CS lead so far over Trevor.
Big CS lead actually over Trevor, surprisingly against Atalia pa. But of course, this is Orianna.
Yeah.
The thing here is that
and Exo's quite comfortable on Orianna as well.
That's
though.
the thing.
It's one of his go-to mages if Talia is not available.
So let's see. Will there be another collapse here as James tries to close the gap? He increased the advance. And of course, 1Q in for Rox, but the follow-up is not there. As Celestial is actually tanking a full wave just so he can follow up.
Yeah, tsaka medyo delikado yun, no? Kasi, yeah, the full wave plus low HP na rin siya to begin with, so it was a bit risky. Oh, Exo, actually.
Pressure lang. Pressure lang, pero mukhang ngayon mo hahanapin yung shockwave mo as Goops would be touching Exosen with his belly. There will be no summoner spell burnt on Exo.
Yeah, so he's safe. He's gonna have to recall.
Just walk away.
Yeah, walk away lang.
Just curious, ganun ba katakot si Trevor? Because he can actually make a play, exchange the flash. Flash in and put the combo on Exosen. Noting that Exosen has no mana on that region.
Yeah, going for the heal also for the summoner spells. But so far, no, this is gonna be all about, actually, all of our eyes are really on bot lane. Kasi feeling ko, oh wait.
Yeah, definitely dapat on bot lane as Rox will be here. Another dark binding, but will there be any trap? Marquis! Walas Q, no flash in, but of course there will be the ignite. Auto attacks mula sa Morgana, Thunderlord's decree as well, but I think that should be not enough to actually get a kill.
Yeah, and that summoner spells exchange, you know, so ignite for heal. So it's pretty even, Trevor.
I don't think so. Will there be any casualty here in the mid lane unless they really go all in on Kaido? But they know Exosen will be here. Rombat here for Trevor. There will be the flash. Good thing he saved that one earlier. James advancing here. Response to Kaido. Boosted advance onto Goops. James is still low. This might be a 1-for-1, but no, this is still Mineski's game. It is a kill. Goops going down.
So a bit chaotic actually yung clash na yan kung saan sila papunta, kung sino target yung inaano nila. But Copes is going to be going down there and that's going to be giving Mineski a very, very slight gold lead. So still things are very even. We'll just have to watch. First Drake is actually going to be Infernal Drake, which may go to TME because Marquis and Rox, they do have the pressure advantage at bot lane. So if they push that, they can actually go for the Infernal. Oh, but Exo still staying.
His bottom lane is very threatening now for TME. Be absorbed and Circus gives the priorities there for Celestial. by the time that Celestial is starting and building yung first core item niya aside from the boots, is Marky would have a secondary item, could even pick up the Zill or could even opt in completing the ID. No? And that would be very dangerous actually for the first collapse. First skirmish that would involve maybe at the most 3 versus 3, something like that, or even the TP play.
Mineski has to be very patient no during this phase of the game na hindi sila mag-engage lagi kasi the spike of Marky is really going to come much earlier than Celestial, so they have to wait for the right time, wait for the power spikes, wait for this tank/Kalista team composition to really click, which will probably be around 2-4 items for most of them. So that might actually take a while, maybe around 15 to 20 minutes in.
Well, TME has to read this, you know. They can take this opportunity to accelerate this game. Kasi
the ball is in their hands.
Clearly, ang kwento po dito ng Mineski, they'd have to chase the late game. They definitely have to chase the late game now. No obvious lead here. There's an obvious, actually, deficit here in the bot lane against Team Mineski. Let's see here. Comes still keeping a very careful eye here in the bot lane.
I think he's been spotted though.
Yeah, just a little trade up into something.
Yeah, none of the top laners have TP actually, so it's really just going to be a 3v3 plus Trevor. Since he does have the Weaver's Wall, we'll have to see. Looking at the CS leads, still Celestial is behind 69 to 47 on the CS.
Very interesting, no? Rakan ang pinick up dito ni TG on top of a lot of supports na nilaro niya during the groups and even in the playoffs. Rakan yung go-to niya. He has no
he's played him only once.
Once, and that was a defeat. Okay.
Oh!
Shockwave missing as well.
Yikes, so that's gonna be no Dragon if ever there's a Dragon fight. Vision is actually in Mineski's advantage. They got the scuttle, but they won't have the Shockwave.
Could be a gamble as well para kay ExoSen kasi would be very lucky in getting the Shockwave in third range by the time na nawala yung minion na to. Pero yeah, a very extended game. Almost entering the 10-minute mark. Ang ating Drake would be an Infernal Drake. Ito lang masasabi ko sa inyo, sa mga viewers natin, sa mga summoners natin. Kung kailan mo magaganap yung laban na yon, and it's actually bubbling. Okay? It's very clear. Sobrang laki nun.
Yes.
Sobrang laki nun.
It could swing either way, no?
Maybe on this bottom lane, but this is not a fight. This is actually a big explosive gas. Is too late. But yeah, lots of ult is burned.
Yeah, that's one from Kalista and one from Coops.
Yeah.
So those won't be available during a Dragon fight, but Stand United is actually up now. So TME will have the advantage if there is a team fight at Dragon. MSK.
We'll advance there. No mana for Celestial.
But a good point, no? When this Dragon fight does happen, which should be pretty soon, if that goes to TME, it's going to swing really heavily in their favor.
Nakakatakot to kasi talaga yung sunod na laban, may sure kang lead na makukuha. The form of turn, form of kills, more so in form of kills, at lalo pa itong Infernal Break.
We'll have to see though. So far, EXO, at least, siya yung nakakapag-compensate ng CS lead for Marky. Kasi Marky is in the lead of bot lane, but EXO is actually getting the CS lead at mid. Which actually the analysts, like we were talking, it was expected. We were expecting EXO to get quite a lead in the lane. And that is happening right now.
He has an item as well, one full item lead here, Finish Codex, compared to the Morello now. The flash in point blank piece. That's gonna be the Shen ultimate. Let's see if can they still save Rox. Lots of Celestial stacks na nailagay dito kay Rox, but it's back out. Oh my god, 21 health onto Rox, and still no casualty for this game.
Yeah, so that's gonna be double recall. This might be an opening for Mineski to try and force an objective, maybe mid or dragon. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, look at that. Look at Coops. Tingnan mo ginagawa ni Coops ngayon.
Yep, he's setting up.
But they have no idea kung nasaan si TG. And TG, napataka rin siya. Saan kaya pumunta si Coops. So, still, that Infernal Break would be appealing.
Yeah. It's going to be a highly contested objective. We'll have to see. So far in itemization, actually things are still, yun na, yung si EXO, EXO and Marky are the ones really with the biggest leads right now. JLC and Kaiku still somewhat even. Kaiku though with a slight CS lead.
Yeah.
Mostly because JLC has been leaving lane
and
a lot.
Isa yun sa mga notable, talaga matatanda natin kay JLC. It's a stellar score count on teams, on TP play. No? Like when it comes to flank, lagi, even pro teams of high caliber, laging nahuhuli ni JLC pa-sorpresa with his defense. Shockwave all-in combo, but I don't think so.
Oh my! Trevor,
I think so. Should be enough. One last Q. Flash for flash.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's still a flash for flash. Trevor will have to back.
Yeah, Trevor's still behind.
Yeah, meanwhile, bot lane Cooks, I don't know if he actually went for the gank. But I thought that might have been an opening for Mineski to take the dragon. Grabe, ang tagal na dragon na to.
Yeah.
12 minutes in and still not really any move so far. Just a battle of vision.
And Trevor is not backing out. The interesting part here is game 1 kasi to, okay?
Yes.
Tapos Infernal Drake yung unang nag-spawn. Lahat. I'm not exaggerating kapag ang laki pala, hindi lahat. Ang laki ng nakasalalay para dito sa game 1.
Yes.
Tempo talaga to. Gusto mo makuha yung momentum na yun. Hindi lang advantage sa game 1. May momentum pa.
At saka, malaking factor din yung momentum kasi like the people on the analyst desk were saying, the Mineski, they do come into this with an experience advantage. Mas pa talaga na sila, they're a veteran team, they've experienced a lot more international events. They know how to play a best of 5, much more than TME. This is TME's first PGS finals as a team, so they come in with a lot of experience. If TME, they lose the first game and Mineski gains the momentum. Oh wait!
Another body connected onto Celestial.
Oh no!
All those hits nag-connect mula kay Marky. Doesn't even require perfect reads. But TG would be just eating away. And you can see a Scareboard trying to respond here in the bottom lane. Man, respond din naman galing mula kay Cooks as TME is seizing control of this game. 2-1. No lead, no obvious lead. But a crucial target is being put behind on Celestial. Another flash as well. So, wala tayong nakitang clash except aggression lang kapag may nakitang nagkabitawan sa iba't ibang parte ng mapa.
Pero interesting thing to note, no, Kaigu is actually almost done with his top outer third. He's actually been keeping JLC in the lane for quite some time.
Oh, and that's it. Thunderlord's Decree, and that is Exo set. As I mentioned, masyado siyang behind si Trevor sa bottom lane.
Very true, no? The CS lead is actually around 30. So first Blood Turret is going to go over to TME.
Okay.
And Mineski, they might be able to get that for top lane. Kaigu might be able to get this. But important part, TME gets first Blood Turret. Bot lane goes straight for the dragon.
Yeah, and they're forcing things too much. What's so lovely about this Infernal Drake is they cannot easily send the bottom duo sa top lane. Usual meta is kapag nakuha mo yung first Blood Turret sa bottom lane, you have the freedom to send your bottom duo in the top lane. But rather maybe send it in the main lane and take a clash. Not without a Dark Binding connecting.
Still, that's a mid lane turret and that's gonna open up the map for Exosendo. So now he'll be able to roam much more around the map. Maybe help out Celestial in the bot lane since he is having a bit of a hard time. Still only on that Bilgewater Cutlass and behind by 20 CS. But Exo, yes, he might be able to help him. Big lead in mid with that 101 plus the around 30 CS lead.
I was wrong. They don't mind the Infernal Drake.
Oh, actually.
They're sending the bottom duo in the top lane. Okay.
Yeah, so they're moving Caitlyn up. Also to help DLC, no? Kasi that turret is very, very low at top lane. And if that opens up, Kaigo will also be able to move more around the map and it will keep JLC in lane. Keep in mind, one of the big strengths of TME as a team is JLC's ability to make teleport plays. Sobrang impactful talaga ng teleport plays niya. So to keep him in lane is actually a really important job. Kaigo's doing well.
This is so funny. That's a very good read by Mineski. Dinala yung bottom lane doon sa top lane. Yung bottom doon sa top lane. But rather, DG will go down. One last hit. Prox will secure another kill. That is his second. All-in combo. Na ipinasok na Exo set kay Prox. JLC. He actually put the Shadow Dash onto Hannes. Hannes is one of the tankiest member. Puts in the ultimate onto multiple members dito ng Team Manila Eagles. And that'll be Mineski.
Dragon.
Infernal Drake. May rush with Dragon dito. Nag-reset siya. 1.9k health on this one. TME would try to finish the job. This is a standoff. That's gonna be like explosive gas. Spike range. Infernal Drake would go for TME, and this might be a chase. No, this is a back out.
Kalista's here though.
Celestial, let's see, can he pierce in with the martial poise jump? Marky is slightly isolated, but I think that should be it. 3-3, 25-25, turrets are equal. Drake on TME.
Yeah, so that's going to be Infernal Drake going to TME, which I think we were expecting though, since Marky did establish bot lane dominance, so he was able to secure that with the rest of the team. Third score though, even. And it's going to be mid for bot. So it's open for Exo, but also open for Marky. Oh!
Okay. And yeah, nice plastic roll. I feel like Mineski got caught off guard by the Morgana.
Maybe. Because it's something that we didn't see at all during the entire group stage.
And I think maybe in the late game, Kalista is like a good counter against the Morgana, but not like this. Not in the early game.
Not like this.
Pressure lang, lapit ka lang. What's so cool is kasi Kalista to, Like, she has the martial points. Ang problema lang, pag lumapit ka, makasila ka ng KD in the range of this one. The quickness activated by UG on top of the shockwave here. And they want to get a shot down on Rox. Rox won't survive. Kill is another given to Exo set. JLC, TME, they call it back out on this one. Medyo rumis. Dito si Trevor, but that is a double kill. Bottom two are going down in the hands of Mineski, along with the jungler. And that is instantly 3 members of TME. Tinake home ng Mineski.
Things looking very good for Mineski right now. They have a 3,000 gold lead 18 minutes in. This might also be a Rift Herald, which will help whoever it goes to. I think it might go to top lane to secure the inner turret, keep Kaigu there, so Kaigu can keep JLC at top lane and prevent him from making any teleport plays. That's one thing to note. JLC has not made really a very impactful teleport play so far.
Very good.
That's very important thing.
Even to actually feel. I feel like TME have gotten a bit complacent on what happened in the top lane, but let's see first.
Let's take a look at the replay now. They're able to catch with the shockwave, they're able to get rocks. At that point, there's no more black shield to keep Marky safe. Exo, his damage, the lead he was able to get in the mid lane, really showing right now. He's able to put a lot of damage to the backline. Marky, that double kill onto Exo, so that's really going to be, I think it's kind of going to snowball out of control if they keep letting Exo get these kills.
Yeah, if you got Marky, I feel like between the two, if you get Marky, lalo pat na nakapag-shutdown kay Marky si Exosen, mas threatening ngayon si Exosen kaysa kay Marky. That is a 19-minute Ludens Echo on top of a Morello, Nomicon, and Sork Shoes. Yeesh.
That is really bad.
That is really bad. Sobrang aga po niyan. And for this game, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like yung clash na yung nangyari dun sa bottom lane, nasa unahan yung bottom duo ng TME. Not because nauuna naman sila, but because they just gotten complacent, not accounting for the side camps dun sa top lane as they try to protect the top lane. And Mineski is a very capable team of pulling up and punishing you with that awkward or rather with what you thought is a good position.
And this is what it looks like. It's kind of weird to see, but this is what it looks like when JLC can't be lane. No, sobrang iba yung gameplay ng TME kapag hindi makaalis si JLC sa lane. Now they can't capitalize on Marky's lead.
Yeah, Celestial though, dueling with Marky. This is so bad by Celestial. Actually, nasa range siya ngayon ni Rox. No, bitaw muna. Dito ng Dark Bite, another Undercharity, saving that one. That is no on Hammond. That is the big skull. Dito sinakan. Guy Morgana dito. You can see 4 members. 4-man squad here by Mineski is dominating the bottom lane. Under turret. 3-7. And Mineski, what's supposed to be a close fight despite having no Infernal Breaks, taking control of the game.
And exactly. Slowly but surely, Mineski really suffocating TME. Marky, even though he was able to get that early lead during the bot lane dominance he had, it didn't really translate to anything after they took the first bot outer turret. No, hindi nila masyado nagamit yung Liti Marky. Now, with Exo, able to get that nice lead at mid, plus Kaigu able to hold JLC in lane, those two things really giving TME a hard time. It seems like they don't know how to react to this. And the roaming potential that Trevor has on this Talia, para hindi rin nila magamit. So all this semi-global advantage that TME had, they never got to use it.
Not optimal. Or hindi nga, not even started, parang hindi pa nasisimpo yan. Parang ganun yung kwento dito sa mga semi-globals ngayon ng Team Manila Eagles. What's so threatening as well is that yung bola kasi na Exosen, parang alam mo yun, mini assassin na nababypass yung mga tanks. Ang problema lang naman talaga ng Oriana when it comes to this third kit. Well, she has kind of relatively low mobility. Wala siyang dashes. Pero yung bola niya nababypass yung mga tanks. Hindi mo yun napipigilan, hindi yun champion. And ang sakit pag nadikitan ka ng QW combo, more so the auto-attack for the Thunder Wings to play. And I feel like isang full combo dito na hindi ultimate Actually, pag full combo pala, I think, Marky can be popped.
Yeah, same. I think he definitely can. And the sad thing is, you can't peel Oriana's ball away from Marky. So once Exosen finds the right positioning and he can catch Marky with the shockwave, walang sagot dun yung TME. So they have to be very careful of finding Exosen and keeping him down.
No defensive answer. Pero what they can do is, Exosen, what he wants is to get in range. But if Exosen is in range, he would be in range ng explosive gas. So they want to make that explosive gas count. I think kahit si Exosen lang yung makuha ng explosive gas, sagana na.
Now TME still struggling to find the picks that we thought they were going to get during the pick and ban phase. We thought they were going to be able to find those isolated targets. But so far, Mineski, after taking away all outer turrets of TME, TME just can't seem to find an opening, and Mineski always has a next step. They're always jumping from one objective to another. Go for bot lane, then go for top lane, go for vision. Yeah. Exactly.
Let's see here though. TG, this is very risky. Do take note, EXO is following up on this one. First ball would miss, and now they're disrupting EXO. Rock strikes must actually go out for the kill, and he gets punished here by Celestial. This is the previous by Celestial, and TME, we have the quality touch para dito kay Marky. He's from EXO, and he is now unstoppable. This is TME cutting their losses as 3 members would fall into the hands of Mineski.
23 minutes in and a 5,000 gold lead for Mineski. Celestial fearless right now, just jumping forward. And to think, kanina lang, hindi siya makalapit kay Marky during the laning phase. Now, he's been able to catch up. He's got the Blade of the Ruined King plus the Zeal. And it looks like the Baron might go to Mineski. TME, JLC, can you find a miracle play?
Tignan natin dito. JLC with a miracle play. This time is disrupting. The Baron is helping him. Very threatening. Tumitira pa rin yung Baron dito. JLC would back out. EXO though, going so low. Can he re-engage? Rox is just around the vicinity looking at damage from EXO. Ang sakit. Kahit si JLC, even with the Spectre Scowl, uma-arrive. Okay, EXO on this one, very dangerous. He may get a shutdown. There will be a shockwave ladder. And EXO so close. EXO Sen goes in big 7-0-4 on this Oriana. EXO Sen with the showing. Showing up with this Rampage.
Sabi ni EXO, akala mo perform ko yung Raptors ha. Ayan, shockwave, patay. So now it's gonna be this mid turret to TME. They can still push this in. Mineski can't respond to this. So this will be a threat. Oh, wait. James going for the ult.
Yeah.
Kaigo has TP. He's actually TPing in the back line right now.
This is very
this might be bad.
Para sa TME. Kaigo, they have an idea though.
Marky!
Goes actually leading siya to Kaigo, but Marky, na-mic ko siya. Ladies and gentlemen, here you go. Fates go will deliver TG onto Rocks. The bottom 2 is already deleted, and Coombs would have to call it quits. What is happening here for TME?
JLC is not the only one who can flank to the back line.
Yeah.
FYI, kaya rin po yun ni Kaigo, and they found the perfect opening. James goes for the ult. TP where
and this time JLC mapaplank dito but he will bypass. Maybe you just walk away. So this is the full force here of Mineski without any response from his teammates. He will melt. Oh my god.
This is free Baron. This is going to be a free Baron pretty much for Mineski. 3 turrets and a nice gold to boot Trevor. I don't think he can do anything here. Weaver's Wall not up yet.
That's a 6k gold.
Oops, can you get the steal? Oh, Shockwave misses.
Yeah, that's a 6k gold lead. Trevor though, he has his eyes set on the TG.
Bangers.
Can he make the steal? He actually goes in, gets the second smite. Wow! Whoa! Goops! Pero may clash pa! Goops is deleted. Nonetheless, that's still a Baron. You know, not every day you get to steal that. Especially in Rampage! Marky though! There's the chase. That's gonna be the Dark Binding. Mula kay Rox dito. Marky still making hits.
No Kaigo.
Dito. No flash onto Kaigo. And it's a shutdown. TME goes in big. They have the Baron. Do they have the momentum? That's a Weaver's Wall. Trevor on this one. EXO Sen, masakit pa rin. Just back out. Celestial though, trap on this one. The Q did not connect. Another Q will not connect.
Okay, Trevor can't find the kill, but still, that was a Baron steal. Coops. On the side of TME,
Coops, the hero.
Bangers gaming, naanat niya yung smite, so that was really good. They were able to at least get the Baron buff onto Marky. Marky gets a couple of kills.
Yeah.
And then they actually catch up a lot in gold. So earlier we had around the 5,000 gold lead. It's slowly shrinking.
Actually, sumaiko si Coops. Tingnan mo yung replay.
So he gets the body slam onto 2. And then, okay, because of the stun, Kalista and Kaigu, or rather, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name, but they couldn't sync the Kalista and the smite. So because of that stun, so they're able to get the steal. And then Marky.
Hindi nakapag-smite si James, by the way.
Yeah, they're there. Because of the
stun. Yung best
stun.
friend ni Celestial dito, which is si James, nawala yung synergy nila dun sa Ren stack smite. Yeah. Okay, what's so interesting about that Graga steal, mga kaibigan, ang ninakawan po doon ay Baron na maraming red stacks ng Kalista. Actually, this kind of comp is designed to really secure objectives like that. Pero nakuha pa ni Coops dito. So, balik sa airplane. Itong Team Manila Eagles, let's see if they won't commit to the mistakes they've done earlier.
27 minutes.
Yeah, let's see. This time, that's gonna be the Stand United. Delivered here for Trevor. JLC saving his Q. Trying to catch EXO Sen. Balik na that is the ball. Okay, and Trevor still fights it. Gets tagged by the ball. And gets killed by EXO Sen. JLC would have to call it quits. That is Explosive cast. Snap and nap.
TME falling out of position there. Sobrang layo ng bot lane ng TME at that clash, so they couldn't help their teammates. And keep in mind, kapag wala yung bot lane ng TME is lacking damage because Marky is the main damage dealer here of the team. Trevor cannot really deal that much damage right now compared to Exosen and to Marky, so Marky has to be there. They can't afford to fall out of position.
Let's see this person in the top lane. Classic Chogat, mga kaibigan. Flash kagad. Marky rather on the flash. Flash into Exosen. And let's see how he outplays on this one. Kaigo gets punched. Wala na siyang bite. Rapture, tinayaan dito ni Marky, but he would not chase away. Can Kaigo get a burst on Marky? He's actually just hovering in the top lane.
Okay, so
actually, nandun pa rin sila sa top lane. Mga kaibigan, camera. Okay,
TP?
let's see, one final kill, auto attacks. Okay, no dodge. And that's what's so bad. That's what's so bad about Chogat. Dahil ng sustain. Grabe.
4 for 3 on the third score, and that's going to be a 4,000 gold lead for Mineski at 28 minutes in. Still, it's anyone's game.
Yeah,
Pero TME, it seems like TME can find openings, so nakakahanap sila ng opportunity. It's just, they have to be more careful and they have to establish proper vision kasi nakikita natin, no, nagkakamali yung TME at times. They're getting caught out.
Ang weird, parang paggrupo lang ng Mineski, matik wala nang nagagawa yung TME, and that's not supposed to be the case, and that's not what we believe in. Kasi right now, so for that case, magmuyaan na yung Mineski makapag-group up. This is done by opening the map. You know, like, allow me, like, make Mineski divided. That's one. Yeah. So right now, Mineski initiating on this ocean break. Let's see what is the play from here. Huwag mo sabihin si Rox ang mag-i-steal yan. Si Rox yung mag-i-steal yan. Si Rox yung mag-i-steal yan. Second steal.
Okay, so hindi nga si Coops yung kumuha, si Rox.
Si Rox, yeah, support.
Guys, may bug daw, so hindi, ban daw ang Mineski from stealing, securing any objective.
What is happening in this finals, mga kaibigan?
Okay. So baka yun yung opening ng TME. Baka yun. Every time na magbabaron or dragon yung Mineski,
may steal.
May steal nyo lang ng steal hanggang mag-tilt yung Mineski tas after 4, di ba? Baka pwede yun. Pero anyway, no, so that is a lucky steal. We're gonna see actually how, no.
85 health.
Oh my gosh. Tilt fest. Pero anyway, so Mineski moving over to bot lane right now.
Red stacks yun!
Huwag na natin pag-isipan, masakit pag-isipan eh.
May red stacks yun.
So Kaigo and JLC still here at top lane. JLC can't seem to find an opening to split push actually, because that was, like you were saying earlier, yun yung isang option ng TME. It's to try to split Mineski up, prevent the 5v5, maybe bring JLC into another lane, maybe 1-3-1, 1-0-4, para hindi 5v5 yung engage kasi lugi yung TME doon with Mineski's team composition. But JLC can't find an opening. This is 1-0-4 for both teams though. Oh!
Okay, that is a shockwave burst. I don't think Mineski can wait out the next minion wave for this bottom lane, so that should be a signal to back out for everyone.
Yeah,
alright.
So they're gonna have to back. And actually Baron is coming up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. So they're probably going to be setting up for that objective next. 4,000 gold lead at this stage of the game. Not really that important anymore. So it all really just falls on the decision making ng mga teams natin. Tignan natin kung who will be the smoother and more in-sync team. Kasi Mineski, they're in sync with everything except the Smite Rend.
Yeah, except the Smite. Totally not in sync. Kasi Rend at saka Smite combo yun. Anyway, you can see double tank, double Righteous Glory, and not to mention double Gargoyle Stone Plate. So
just like Nick was saying, during the analyst test, is definitely what we were expecting to see in patch 7.14. Lots of tanks, lots of tanks items.
Lots of freedom for EXO to actually deliver the ball. Pero by that time, may adaptive health naman rin dito si JLC, and not to mention Coops is building his own fair share of magic resistances in the form of the Iron Solari. So yeah, anybody's king.
Another thing that both teams also have to do actually, kailangan nila mag-deward ng backline nila. Because we've seen Kaigo and JLC can both flank very effectively. So if one of these teams fails to eliminate the backline wards when they go for an objective, it could really swing a team fight in either one's favor.
And look at that. Maraming matututunan yung mga summoners natin dito kasi kanina iba yung nangyari sa Celebrity Showmatch. Pero dito, Tingnan mo kung ilang control wards yung dala nila
Yes.
sa laro.
It's a
The
vision
importance of
battle.
vision, yeah.
Baron is actually live now, and both top laners here. It's just going to be a wet noodle fight until the Baron starts. I don't think they're going to be engaging. Just waiting for the right time to find the TP, waiting for the vision battle to end, or maybe for someone to make a mistake.
You have to be very careful mula rin dito kay TG, especially with the heroic entrance, not to mention the bleeding pool as well. What's so cool about Rakan is that hindi lang siya pogi, yung initiate niya pa. Sobrang ano.
Yes, pogi rin.
Ganda talaga. Like, very clean.
Oh! Shockwave use!
Shockwave is baited. Shockwave is baited. There's a dark binding. Can Goops make this out? Do take note, meron pa siyang explosive cast dito.
TP.
But Rox is
No,
in
the
short
United
range of
is-
this one. Ultimate is being used here by Rox. Onto the tanks. Teleport na magagaling mula dito kay Kaigo. That is the explosive cast to at least isolate Ames away from his members. But the bike na magagaling mula kay Kaigo. Chogat is just too OP for this game, and JLC anong use ng flank kung walang follow-up dito sa backline? JLC would front for his life. This side stops MSK, maybe get a kill on Exo Sen, and JLC would go down as the second death for this group.
TME, so close because we saw actually yun, nag-stand united si GLC. He was actually able to land the taunt onto Celestial, but the ult of Coops, natulak niya si Celestial palayo imbis na paloob. So that was actually really crucial, giving Celestial some free...
I don't know, I feel like TME, running rule, do not go near.
Yeah.
Do not go near. Right now, napaka-threatening nung bite ni Chogat. That's the problem. Kahit anong tanke na sim hawak dito nila kung sa JLC, once they fall below the threshold. Not to mention the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Nako, dati meme lang yan sa YouTube. Ngayon, talagang technique na siya on the pro play. Rocks on the bad spot here. Will be forced to flash away, but at least should be enough. The TME play to get the stop Mineski from the Baron pot. The positioning from Marquis. Shockwave.
And that's gonna be a Baron unless Coop steals it again, or Rock steals it again. This is gonna be
ridiculous.
The Baron for Mineski.
This is already ridiculous, but maybe they just stop it, not rely on the steal. Right now, it's a 3v2. Trevor, he's getting filled here by Rox, not to mention the backline is being attracted here by the front line of TME. That's the bite. Ang dali. One hit delete mula kay Chogat. Press R and win, and Mineski will go back again onto the Baron.
Okay, but JLC and Coops again waiting for the opportunity. Ito na naman si Coops, nasa likod na naman.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, please.
Okay,
yeah, nahanap siya.
Nakita si Coops and they don't want to gamble. They don't want to gamble.
Okay, JLC is actually still there at top lane.
Oh, okay.
No, he can't steal this.
Yeah.
And that's by some miracle, but
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Actually, there's a date between Rox and TG in the game. You can see here. Mababa. I've seen top lane versus top lane, pero support versus top lane tank. More ridiculous.
Okay, so this is where it gets really, really bad for TME.
Yep.
Because Mineski, they have been forcing, if you notice for the past 15 minutes, Mineski has been forcing TME to play in 5v5 engages, which they're innately weak against. Yung team composition nila, it's really not built for 5v5 as much as Mineski. So now that they have the Baron buff, possibly this Elder Drake, this could spell the end of game 1.
You know what was the counter between these two tactic platforms ng SKB? This Rox keep winning this one. Usually. Yeah. That's the front line. Now, let's see here, reverse wall. This might be a big fight. Even TME cannot give away, but they will. This Elder Drake, very threatening, and now Mineski would go for the chase. I think this might be the deciding fight, ladies and gentlemen, as JLC would go down, and James is still on the chase. James still no ultimate on James, explosive cast dito. Backline mula kay Celestial, there's still the flank. They have the sustain this fight, and they have the damage as well from the backline, but they would back up. They have no vision on this right side.
And not enough damage coming out of Marquis. Too many tanks in the front line. Hindi niya ma-delete yung tanks dito. James, Coops, or rather James and Kaigu, plus TG. So much front line, and Marquis can't shred through them all. So this 5v5, Marquis can't carry all of them with the damage.
Tank is the name of the lethality meta.
Yeah. And Trevor can't follow up the damage either because he fell behind during the laning phase. Tadia also isn't exactly known to be high DPS during the late game. So it's very difficult. Kill score 8-25 at 37 minutes in and over a 10,000 gold lead. Mineski looking to put the foot down in his first game.
Yeah. Get the momentum, ladies and gentlemen. Not to mention, Exo Sen, 37 minutes into the game. Item lock, Oriana.
Yes, and that's going to be
12,
very
1,
scary.
11.
Elder Drake and Baron. It's just a matter of time now, unless Mineski make a horrible mistake. This is pretty much going in their favor.
Hoarded what?
Yeah. As in, yung tipong
classic mistake.
tatlo silang nag-DC. But we'll have to
Because
see.
right now, he said it's anybody's game,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
That's not the situation here, ladies and gentlemen. Could be done here by Rocks, rather by TME. Is that strategy nga, divide and conquer. Pero kung kanina na mas maluwag yung mapa at nag-group up yung Mineski, na nanalo pa yung Mineski, all the more na mas lumiliit yung mapa. Malaking tanong is, do they have the siege capabilities? Right now, Kalista is a short range, not much compared to Kapin to be decided to siege turrets. Not to mention Kapin has a lot of traps on this one. But still, the damage from EXO is too much.
Yes, and there's... TME don't really know what to do at this point. Weaver's Wall just trying to delay the push in. But nakita natin, natatakot si Marky lumapit. He knows that there's a lot of engage on Mineski's side to catch him off guard.
Yeah, there's a lot of wall. There's the trap wall, there's the Weaver wall na ginamit na. May fear wall din na manggagaling mula dito kay Coops.
JLC though,
yeah, JLC
is pushing at bot lane, so Mineski.
Oh,
there's the engage.
That's the one that will bypass the wall. And they actually went for the most left side, ladies and gentlemen. And naunang nakuha dito, I see Trevor. I think oras na para mag-clean up. And Mineski earning their way through that game 1 as they deleted Rocks. Marky giving a safe distance. Look at the damage from the galing mula kay EXO. That's the crowd control mula kay Coops. But Coops will go down as well. That is only JLC, the last remaining member of TME, saying that they have to make their adjustments on this game 2 as Mineski would focus the first Nexus turret, make that the second one, and on to the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, for the game 1, it should be Mineski League of Legends victory.
Alright, so GG, well played, of course, by both teams, but we can only have one winner. Mineski, again, they put their foot down for that first game. Nakita natin, it was a bit, at first we thought TME, they had the early momentum, but Mineski eventually able to find their way. Nakita natin, sobrang instinct nila throughout the game. Although both teams still made a couple of mistakes, we'll have the analyst desk cover that one.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just a very impressive picks on this one. Not to mention the double tap, and of course, we're gonna lots of stuff for the analyst desk. But before we head to that, pasalamatan natin lahat ng sponsors and partners natin that made this Rampage 2017 possible. Again, this is co-presented to you by PLDT, Smart, and Garena, and is co-presented by Lenovo Intel. And our major sponsors is Seagate, Bloody, Transcend, Bacchus Energy Drink, and HyperX.
Of course, a special thanks to our event partners, Cooler Master, Razer, Aegon by AOC, Zagu, and Razer.
Not to mention, don't forget, official hotel partner would be Golden Phoenix Hotel Manila. Thank you so much. And of course, our mobile shopping app, Shopee, ladies and gentlemen, official streaming partners, XSplit and Twitch.
And we're also joined by our media partners, Otaku Asia, Otaku Events, AnimePlay.tv, Mineski.net, Esports Illustrated, WinInManila.com, Rakista Radio, Tier 1 Entertainment, Esports Inquirer, Rappler, and GG Network.
Yes, yan mga kaibigan, kami po yung naging shoutcasters for this game. I am Shibu with the 1 for an I, partnered here with Amplifier for this game 1. I'm really excited to hear it from them. So for the analyst desk, take it away.
Wait.
In the range of this one, the fitness of on top of the stock right here, and they want to get a shot down on Rocks. Rocks won't survive. Kill is another given to EXO set. JLC, they call it back out on this one. Trevor, but that is a double kill. Both of you will go down in hands of Mineski, along with the jungler, and that is instantly 3 members of TME. Take hold.
I don't think he can do anything here. Weaver's Wall, not up yet. Can you get this kill? Oh, Shockwave misses.
Yeah, that's a 16 Trevor though, he has set on the PG.
Bangers.
Can he take the steal?
Oh.
He actually goes in, gets the second smite. Wow! Whoa! Goops! Pero may clash back! To at least isolate Ames away from the members. But the fight galing mula kay Kai. So that is just too OP for this game, and JLC. Anong use of block kung walang follow-up dito sa backline? JLC would run for his land. His side steps at maybe get a kill on EXO Sen, and JLC would go down as the second death for this game.
TME, so close. Steals it again. This is gonna be ridiculous. The Baron for Mineski.
This is already ridiculous, but maybe they just stop it, not rely on the steal. Right now it's a 3v2. Trevor is getting killed here by Rocks. Not to mention the backline is being attacked here by the front line of TME. That's the bite at the late. One hit mula kay Chogat. Press RS Williamson would go down, and Hammers is still on the chase. Hammers still has no ultimate on Hammers. Explosive kasi dito. Backline mula kay Celestial. There's still the flank. They have their sustained fight. And they have the damage as well from the backline, but they would back up. They have no vision on this right side.
And not enough damage coming out of Marky. Too many tanks in the front line. Hindi niya madali.
And naunang nakuha dito, IC Trevor. I think oras na para mag-clean up. And Mineski earning their way through that game 1 as they deleted Rocks. Marky giving a safe distance to the damage from Galing mula kay Exo. Gets the crowd control mula kay Cooks, but Cooks will go down as well. That is only JLC, the last remaining member of TME, saying that they have to make their adjustments on this game 2 as Mineski would focus the first Nexus turret, make that the second one, and on to the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, for the game 1, it should be Mineski League of Legends victory.
Alright, so GG, well played, of course, by both.
Couch. Yes, you just heard couch. But welcome back to the Analyst Couch. That was our game 1 between Mineski versus the Manila Eagles. That was very explosive. A lot of highlights, especially a lot of steals coming from TME. Pretty exciting things going on, but let's go first to the draft. Neep has predicted the tank meta. So what do you guys say? What do you say about the draft between TME and Mineski for game 1?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw the tank meta in action right there during that game. We saw the Shen and Gragas on the TME side, and we saw the Cho'Gath and Maokai on the other side. And those tanks just did so much work throughout the game. And I think it's showing right now. From my initial impressions, Mineski has a very good understanding of this tank meta, as I really like the initial Cho'Gath and Maokai pick right from the very beginning. It allows you to flex that anywhere you want. You can run it Maokai top or Cho'Gath top, Maokai jungle or Cho'Gath jungle. Or we've even seen some teams in the other regions run that into the Maokai support. So I really thought that was smart. But at the same time, for TME, I think it's a no-brainer that you first pick Caitlyn. Caitlyn is without a doubt the best AD carry in the meta, one of the highest priority champions. But the thing you have to take into consideration when you pick the Caitlyn is you have to consider the rest of your bans. What are you banning away? Why is Caitlyn strong? And I think you needed to get rid of some of those tanks if you're going to secure that Caitlyn pick. And that's something I think TME should really do.
Yeah, going back to that Caitlyn pick, what do you say about how they really wanted to pressure Celestial? In the end, it was EXO saving the day with a lot of kills, even unstoppable at some point.
Yeah, so let's talk about the first 5 minutes of the game. So Mineski was able to spot out the really cheeky invade of TME by trying to loop around their blue buff. So they actually had information. They were able to put a ward onto TME's blue buff. I'm actually disappointed at Mineski for giving up first blood, because what happened there was Celestial got chunked really hard by the Morgana and the Caitlyn by getting brush cheese. So it inevitably had to burn a potion, and usually you don't want to give these kinds of leads, especially to with losing lane, because they did draft into a losing lane with a Rakan and the Kalista versus the Morgana and the Caitlyn. So another thing that we can also talk about is how they prioritize turrets, because I like how Kaigu and EXO were able to hold their own and actually develop really big CS leads in the top lane and in the mid lane. And one thing to take note of is mid T1 is really important in a mage versus mage matchup. Whoever loses their mid turret first actually becomes very irrelevant in the game. One thing you can notice is that Trevor kind of picked Talia. He has 2 games on Talia, but I think they also wanted to get the Talia to prevent EXO from taking Talia.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, between both of them, you can see who the better mid laner is, and especially how the solo kill happened, it was all because EXO kept exerting his dominance over Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of lane priority, whenever Coops does his rotations during the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game, which lane do you think TME wanted to get that boost in? I mean, EXO had a lot of space during the early game, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, EXO was able to, sorry about that, but EXO, of course, was able to just do so much on the map. He enabled, like Eagle said, he enabled so many of Mineski's plays, getting those solo kills, and during the team fights, his ball positioning was on point. I mean, they would, like, you had a lot to say about that on the couch.
Yeah. No, because, like, for me, looking at, with all said and done, what kind of worries me right now is that, let's go away from the game for a bit.
All right.
Just going into the mindset of these players right now, because we've been talking about how Mineski, they have the international experience, and not just that, but just stage experience alone. You know, there's those jitters when it's your first time on the stage. Probably for JLC, since he was on IPT before, but I couldn't say the same for the other players, maybe. So this is the predicament that TME is in, wherein I'm kind of worried for them in the sense that whether or not, especially since this is a best of 5, whether or not this game 1, could it potentially make or break them? Because, you know, going into game 1 with the first loss, that's kind of heavy in a way.
Yeah.
And it's all about the mindset here, whether or not you could look at it as a positive, wherein, hey guys, we need to pull ourselves together and kind of work together to try to go into a victory going into game 2. Or is it something that ultimately weighs them down in a way that going into game 2, there's just all the more fear, all the more jitters. So that's just something we'll have to see going into game 2.
Yeah, one thing I can take out of what you said, you mentioned how TME, it might tilt them a little bit, but you can tell that they have a lot of fighting spirit. You saw during the mid phases of the game where, you know, Mineski has been getting all the kills, they have the really strong team fight, they're making the right calls. But whenever Mineski makes a call, TME, if they see a small window of opportunity, they don't hesitate to take it, even though it seems slim. We've seen that so many times whenever we see, you know, Baron is being taken. They're going to take that chance to take it. They've stolen like 3 objectives already. I think the first one was more on Gragas, correct?
Yeah.
Could you elaborate more on that?
So what happened was they knew that the Cho'Gath was going to try to feast onto the Infernal Drake. So what happened was very smart of Coops to actually use the explosive cast to blow him away from the dragon and get the smite immediately. So
exactly.
it was really these small micro decisions that are actually led to these objectives being stolen.
Yeah, I mean, it shows a bit of jitters as well. I'm not sure if it's a miscommunication due to just like like just not having enough synergy, or if it's something with just the jitters, because you need to take into consideration, if you compare how much time Celestial has had with the team relative to the rest of the players, relative to TME, and the fact that this is Celestial's first time on the big stage, I think that's definitely played a factor in that, because if you look at what happened, they were relying on Kalista to finish both the Dragon and the Baron when it was stolen, because they started with the Cho'Gath Feast, right? However, it was the Ren I think they were relying on, and in the end, I think maybe they just miscalculated their damage. Maybe it was on a team level or it was on an individual level. Regardless, it was very sketchy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about more on what could have TME did better in the first game. They have a lot of opportunities. They took a lot out of Mineski, correct? Got the Baron, they won a couple of team fights, they managed to get themselves back into the game despite Mineski had the upper hand. But what could they have done better?
I think the kills that EXO was able to secure in the mid lane really threw a curveball in what TME wanted to accomplish, because they already established bot lane priority with those early kills, and with the fact that it's a Caitlyn Morgana. You lose extremely hard in the early game as the Kalista and as the Rakan, and the fact that they picked Rakan into the Morgana is very interesting for me, because a lot of the time you see Morgana being picked as a counter pick to Rakan. So with EXO being able to secure mid lane priority, they weren't able to transition that bot lane lead fast enough into top lane, because JLC couldn't split push the entire game. Kaigo was able to match JLC the entire time.
Yeah,
it was
one
pressure,
thing you can
right?
also take a look at is like the 1-3-1 composition coming out from TME was shut down by EXO and Kaigo. Because if you shut down those those two side ones, those the pushers, they have a really inferior composition in terms of team fighting. And I think on the subject of jitters, I think TME is also feeling the pressure right now.
Definitely.
I know that you guys also remember Rox's flash over the caster minions into a missed Morgana bind.
Yeah, cannot forget
So
about
that actually put them so far behind because JLZ had to ultimate had to use his ultimate towards Rox just to make sure he didn't die.
Yes.
But sadly his wave wasn't prepped, so Kaigo was able to shove 2 waves into JLZ's tier 1 turret. He was able to take more than 2,000 damage on that turret. And
Man.
when you have a Shen, you have to make sure that you don't lose your your top tier 1 because that really restricts your global pressure as well.
Exactly. But, you know, moving on towards, you know, the whole game, do you think Mineski did a clean game? Definitely not.
Sorry?
Mineski, in terms of, like, calls, did they make the right call every time?
Probably for me, there could have been some ways that it could have been better, but I gotta say, just the general comparison, Mineski definitely played it better than TME. I felt like if you're gonna count the number of mistakes and the degree as to how much it affected a potential victory, TME definitely on the bottom side there, while Mineski, I'd say, played it a lot better. And again, it's very worrisome for me in terms of TME status right now.
Man, what you said earlier with Mineski having the tempo, setting up the tempo for themselves, definitely not a clean game, but they played with their strengths. But I'm super excited to find out, again, this is the best of 5 series between the Manila Eagles versus Mineski. Let's head on over to our game number 2, but before that, let's take a look at a video from our sponsors.
Ang playstyle ko kasi ay tangke, warding, at kung sino ang nangangailangan ng ganking. Priority ko kasi ay early level 3 gun at mga pressure sa mid upang makalamang ang kampi ko. Kasi ang feeling ko, mas malakas ang impact ko pag ganun ang ginawa ko.
So ang playstyle ko sa jungler, marami kasi nakadepende sa comp namin. Tulad na lang pag nagtatank top si Kaigo, pumipili ako ng aggressive jungler. Tapos pag nagka-carry naman siya, ako yung nagtatank para sa team. Gustong-gusto ko rin mag-invade, lalo na pag malakas yung pressure ng lanes namin kasi nababakapan nila ako tuwing may nangyayaring gulo sa gubat. Nakakaalis ako ng ligtas. Ang pinagkaiba ng playstyle namin ni Coops, mahilig siya gumank ng gumang. Kaya pag gumana yung gank niya, doon kami matatalo. Pero pag di gumana yung gank niya, tapos nakapag-invade ako ng libre, mabibiyahin siya sa akin, kaya doon naman ako mas gagana. So sa finals, abangan na lang natin kung sino mas gagana ang strategy sa jungler.
Well, good evening to everyone on Rampage stage. We welcome you back to Game 2 of the country's Premier League in League of Legends, the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split. I am Vulcan, and with me is Atlas. We'll be your casters for Game 2. So, coming from Game 1, Atlas, we did see that Team Manila Eagles, they had some crucial steals, but it was not enough for them to win the victory.
Of course, definitely there was a lot of factors that led to how all of that happened for TME. It was really surprising, actually, that Mineski won this Game 1 because they have a history from the analyst desk. They said that Mineski has a history of reverse sweeping. They lose the first 1 or 2 games. They need to rev up. They're like PHTSM, and that they need a few games to really get into the zone. But here, it seems like they just play TME like a damn fiddle. And it's really surprising. It's really scary if just from Game 1, just from the get-go, they're already very, very strong. And looking at it, they might have had a few hiccups that game, but it all really went well for them.
Well, what we see is, actually I saw the Game 1, but let's head on to the draft to see what is TME's game plan in winning this Game 2, because if ever Mineski does win Game 2, they're at match point, and TME will be at a much more stressful place because what happens there is that the nerves get to you.
Yeah, and it's very risky for them as well to reach a 0-2 because this is one of the few times that TME will be reaching, playing on a big stage. So having all that pressure on you and being 0-2 is just so debilitating. So they have to give into their all. The problem is when you're on the big stage, the mindset you have coming into the game is everything. And if you lose any bit of morale, it's so destructive for your play. And considering TME's playstyle, which is hit everything hard, and if it doesn't work, hit harder, that thing might not work out. They have to change up their style. So as for the pick and bans here so far, of course they don't want to deal with the Maokai and the Zac here naturally. And also Rox's Thresh is a big threat. As for TME, banning out very, very wise. The two tanks that really put them behind in the previous game, the Cho'Gath and the Tahm Kench are banned out, and Caitlyn is a very generic good ban that you can always just put out just for general safety.
It's actually a good ban coming from TME. We are seeing that Mineski is on the blue side, so they do not want Celestial on that Caitlyn, so understandable bans coming from TME. But right now we're seeing priority pick for Marky Zaya. We did see Zaya performing really well, 100% win rate entering the finals of the PGS.
So it's actually really interesting that they let the Caitlyn and the Rakan through while this Caitlyn is banned out. But it seems like Mineski seems to know what they're already drafting, going with the same plan, going for a tank, and then it seems like they're switching it up with a Talia since now they're on blue side. And Kog'Maw for Celestial. Celestial is known for his Kog'Maw. Very weirdly, it works because, you know, Kog'Maw is very weak in laning, and combine that with Celestial's passiveness in bot lane and Marky's aggressiveness in bot lane, is going to be very scary if Celestial is not shut down. But it seems like he's a very comfortable pick for Celestial here, and it seems like Mineski already has a game plan. Let's see the rest of the bans here for both of these teams. Braum ban away from TG here, so a lot of protection, more tankiness taken away because there's so much natural synergy between Sejuani and Braum.
Oh, it's also the fact that the Kog'Maw is being babied in the bot lane, so really TME is banning out the support, defensive support.
And definitely the banning out TG here will make Celestial's time in the bot lane much, much harder. It seems like TME is like reading Mineski's draft pretty well so far. Going for a tank now. It's going to be Galio for the maybe the mid lane, maybe the top lane for Team Manila Eagles. Either way, it's going to be a very solid front line. Just so much utility, and coming from Mineski's bans, the Jarvan and the Orianna, so Trevor will not be able to use that much utility, as well as the Jarvan, which can be flexed between Koops and JLC, but it's much more popular on Koops, so that will not be available. It seems like they will be going for the Rek'Sai instead, and they lock in the Janna. I do love this Janna lock-in because you've got the Rek'Sai, you've got the Galio that wants to dive in, as well as Rox on that Rakan. So that Janna pick just allows you to shut down one volley of engage coming from TME. And it seems like the last pick for Mineski will either be the top lane or jungle, if this Sejuani can be flexed. So we'll see. Glad for Kaigu. He is very proficient on that champion. The natural attack speed boost on his violent tendencies. If James ganks with the Sejuani, could possibly shut down TME there in the top lane. So it might be the top lane Galio coming for the mid lane Zed for Trevor. That is much more likely than any other configuration for those two champions. And with the changes to lethality, this does make Zed very, very strong. But as the analyst just mentioned, Assassins being strong also makes tanks very, very strong. And just the general utility of these tanks might be enough to just shut down Trevor here. But Zed, very, very scary if he gets ahead, if he gets the kills he needs. Because even if Trevor, statistically in his playoffs games, in his group stage games, he has the lowest KDA, and I believe also very below average kill participation relative to the rest of his team. So if he does not pop off on that Zed, it will spell a lot of trouble for TME. But if Mineski League of Legends, they do not focus on keeping Celestial alive, they do not Exosen cannot roam, all of that will just shut down any single chance of them winning this game. But they do have the momentum.
So coming in from TME, they have finalized their picks. How are things looking for TME? Because as far as I can see, we're seeing proficient champions coming from TME's side, but Mineski, they are more let's say, as Celeste just said, smarter when it comes to that aspect of the game. So it was clever of them to draft 2 tanks, but this time it has been removed. So Mineski taking the opportunity, they've taken away the Kog'Maw, which is Celestial's sort of a pocket pick.
It is a very comfortable pick, but it's also, as I said, very, very dangerous. Like, you don't have a complete protected Kog'Maw composition, so you have to rely on your laning a lot. And Celestial, I do not know. I mean, previous game, he did very well. He did pretty well in the losing matchup on his bot lane, but now it's going to be a Kog'Maw. The factors are different. Kog'Maw is just super passive down there in the bot lane, and you add to that a Janna. So I guess he's just going to try and survive in lane, while the rest of, while Exosen tries to pressure for top, for Kaigu and James as well, because that is the core of Mineski historically, is Kaigu, James, and Exosen. The 3 of them work together to snowball each other, and that allows the bot lane to actually ride the tailwind and win the rest of the game for them. As for TME, this is very much in their style. Just get in there, smash everything. If that doesn't work, just smash it even harder. And having an aggressive team like this against the Kog'Maw, it might be very, very dangerous.
And also the fact that Mineski likes to play it safe when it comes to the early phase of the game. They want to avoid skirmishes, so picking up a Janna is a really good pick when it comes to really protecting Celestial. So let's see how Team Manila Eagles will be managing this bot lane duo of Mineski, because they like playing aggressive. I want to see that. I wonder, can TME come back from their first loss in Game 1? Because when moving on to Game 2, I'm pretty sure that they do have some strategy left. So let's get to it, Atlas.
All right, so we'll see how all this actually plays out once the game actually begins. Here is the matchup for each of lanes and the junglers, the bans, so you can have a little bit of context on how these team compositions have been drafted. So,
yeah. So we are live on the ref. This is Game 1 of Mineski on the blue side against Team Manila Eagles on the red side. Will this be match point for Mineski, or will TME fight back for a 1-1?
It's really going to be up to how they play out their early game, because the laning is so crucial for this Kog'Maw, and we'll see how Mineski and TME play out their level 1s, because if someone gets a really good invade, but I don't think they'll be going for it, just regular lines of scrimmage for our teams for this game. Don't want to risk anything, because TME does not want to walk themselves into a corner. But it seems like Mineski aggressively going for something here, just a little bit of vision to ensure that they know exactly where Kups is starting. And that information is vital for the rest of your lane surviving, especially when you have Celestial on the Kog'Maw, who's very vulnerable in the early game.
So we can see that for TME's side, Trevor is putting some deep vision, so I wonder if TME will try it off for a complete bot lane shutdown, because going a Kog'Maw and a Janna is very risky for Mineski, knowing that they do have the momentum, but for TME, they do have Marky on that Xayah. We do see Xayah's, Marky's Xayah is really good in terms of kill participation. Win rate is 100%, so this is TME betting on that Xayah.
That is one of his signature champions. Like you can see, like in the PGS fan art contest, everyone draws Marky as Xayah. So that is the proficiency of the champion. Seems like Kaigu and Exos are trying to go for something against Kups.
Now we're seeing that some aggression coming from Mineski, trying to delay Kups' jungle route, so it is understandable. They do want that.
Whoa, he does not reach level 2. That's actually pretty big, and a successful disruption coming from Mineski for the clear of Kups. This will delay him quite a lot, because that means his clear for the red buff is even slower, not just because of the base stats not being as high, as well as not having access to a second spell. So that is very well played from Mineski. Very well worth it. They didn't spend a lot of resources for that little ditty that they did on the Raptors, and it will delay the Kups a little bit. Plus, they know exactly where Kups started.
Well, he did start red, so he will be rolling into the bot lane. I don't think 2 Raptors would be enough for them to delay Kups, because we do see Kups, even though he gets delayed in the Raptors, he would still make room to go to the bot lane and shut that lane down, especially Celestial on that Kog'Maw. almost a free bot lane win for TME if Coops really prioritize it correctly.
They have to watch out for Exocen, however, because even though Exocen will probably go top lane quite a lot, if he goes bot lane, and look at this, he's pushing Trevor straight up from level 1. He's making sure that Trevor does not get mid lane priority, and he will be able to roam once he reaches level 6. Just having that pressure against that Zed will also prevent...
aggression, Rox goes in onto Celestial, trying to zone out of his lane, so Rox will be getting a lot of punishment from that.
Very even trade, however. Marky actually even more low than TG thanks to the Eye of the Storm coming from TG helping with a trade. And here, very natural. Coops might be going for something against Exo.
Tunneling in, he does have the burr yet. Exo does have the flash yet, but Exo's moving towards the jungle of TME. So this is Exo fighting for his life. Response coming from top lane. JLC and Kaigo will be joining in. Exo flashes away towards his turret side.
Surprisingly, Exocen survives all of that with enough audacity to actually give Coops a little bit of a few threaded volleys there to keep him out. And the fact that seismic shove was actually really big because that hit earlier, because it pushed Trevor away, which gave him enough time to actually just walk around and wait for the threat of James to become real, and that just made Trevor and Coops scared him away. So now a little reset on the lanes. A few plays trying to be made by both TME and Mineski. More emphasis on TME, but so far not really effective. But the flash burn might go for a repeat gank from Coops.
Once again, trying to zone at Celestial. He's very low in health. Marky trying to feathers in. Celestial trying to farm his own lane. So we know that TME, they want to shut down the ball lane. And now we're seeing Coops on the Croc side. Might rotate to the bottom lane of Mineski. Coops, guess why Rox goes to the knockup. Celestial's very low. Marky trying to stack the feathers in. Celestial is almost in kill range for Coops.
Seems like they don't want to risk it too hard. Celestial goes very, very low, but they have a Janna. Heal is still up for Celestial. There could have been no more aggression there for the bot lane, but putting Celestial down this low means that might be a small CS lead for Marky, as Celestial may have to recall from the threat of Coops or would just have to CS very, very risky.
But from Mineski's side, they are doing a good job fending up the lane. Celestial gives the first blood to Marky. That was mispositioning from Celestial.
And that's the thing. Very, very low. Does not want to lose any bit of CS against Marky. But because he was pretty greedy down there in the bot lane, that means Marky gets the first blood. And that is a huge burst of gold for one of the star players of Team Manila Eagles.
So Marky gets first blood. This is a huge deal for Marky because when he does get the load on Zaya, he will be rolling. Kaigo though gets visited by Rox. He does flash away. Still has Scarl for some defense.
And this is what Mineski was scared of, coming from the interview with James. If Coops' ganks are working, then that means James has less freedom to actually pressure for his team. And there, his ganks have actually been pretty successful, even if they haven't resulted in a kill. The fact that Kaiku just instantly burns his flash, Exocen as well burns his flash earlier, that means that Trevor and JLC have a little bit more breathing room to do their jobs. And if they're just, and look at this, Coops is actually the one that's been invading James. Very, very good pathing coming from the TME jungler. Kaiku spots him out. A little bit of information from Mineski, but still, lots of resources lost by James. He is still ahead in the CS game.
But when we're talking about the jungle side, I mean, Coops is doing a really good job trying to punish James, but it's the fact that Marky got the first blood. It's a huge deal because from his first buyback, he already got the BF sword and a boost of speed. So at this point, Celestial is going to be having a really hard time in the bottom lane, especially how Marky likes to play it very aggressive.
Yeah, he has to be very careful. Actually building the Vamp Scepter first just to get a lot more sustain. Very natural for his build path as well. Just picks that up to survive against the flurry of feathers that Marky will be putting out there in the bot lane. He's still fighting, however.
Oh, Marky stacking up the feathers onto Celestial. He flashes away, but he's ignited. Will he get taken down? A heal for a catch up, and TG goes in for the save.
That ignite was
no, not yet over. A pretty close call for the bot lane duo of Mineski, though.
Exocen is on the way. He has the Weaver's Wall.
Weaver's Wall for the call-up. That will be a 4v2. Mineski collapsing into the ball lane of TME. Marky doesn't give up. He takes out Celestial. Teleport coming in. Kaigo will join in. But Axel finished him up already. That will be a Kaigo actually getting some reward for that teleport play.
And now, like Mineski actually takes a very good skirmish there. They said that they didn't like doing skirmishes, but that was just 100% a 4v2. This does give TME mid lane priority. And
who gets the first turret?
A race for the first turret, and I believe TME will get this for sure. That's a huge burst of gold. And they are actually, I think they
do get the first turret.
But if they gave it all to Trevor, you know how scary that would be? That's like worth 2 kills.
But they don't have the time for that, so might as well take the first turret.
Taking the first turret there, still a huge burst of gold. Mineski ahead in gold by 400, not really too big, but look at this, Cook still applying so much pressure, taking away James' resources, and giving it to Trevor actually a little bit of energy regen plus some CDR for that assassin, and he does have the death mark poised to assassinate anyone who gets in his way.
Well, this time, Trevor is actually performing pretty well in the mid lane. In the previous game one, he was really oppressed, and he could not do anything to help out his fellow teammates. So this is an improvement from TME.
Because Crooks has been pressuring as well.
Rocks goes over tower dive, Celestial gets knocked up to the air, and now a lane swap happened for Mineski. TME catches that and still not giving Celestial any breathing room.
As soon as that bot lane turret falls, they match Celestial's movements. No free farm for him, no safe laning for him. This is just Rocks and Mark applying the pressure onto the Mineski bot laner. And really, the state of the game so far still quite even, but the fact that TME is able to do these aggressive movements is because of the proactivity of Kups, and he's able to gank a lot, take away summer spells. Trevor.
Oh, Trevor trying to make some fancy footwork. He does get permafrost. A lockdown. James gets the kill. Kups kind of overstayed, trying to back away, forced the flash away, but James joins in with another flash. He goes in with an Arctic Assault. Permafrost will stack, and one more stack, and that's a Permafrost lockdown. Exo gets the kill.
And perfectly goes to Exos, and a little bit too aggressive there, coming from TME, losing both of their lives there, Kups and Trevor. And it seems like momentum a little bit now on Mineski's side. Now that Exosen is 2-0-2, James has a few assists now on his belt. This will give Mineski a little bit of a boost in terms of their gold, a little bit. And this will help them in their itemization. This will put Trevor behind in terms of the pressure. And so far, Exosen has been the one to pull mid lane priority.
Oh, James picked the wrong time to counter jungle, forced to give Marky double buffs and a kill. So PG, knowing this, backs away with the Howling Gale. So I gotta say, I mean, we did see how TME, they shot on the ball lane, not completely, but it's the fact that Marky got a good start. Got to be a sword, first buyback, and now going to the top side, he managed to get a really lucky shot onto James, getting a double buff. This is actually a good lead for TME so far.
This will definitely help them countering the push here for the top lane. They will be the ones to push Celestial. Seems like TME wants some revenge with their own format, but it seems like it's just to get the turret. Celestial cannot square up too up front unless he wants to get punched out.
Oh, JLC goes in for the knock. Celestial gets CC locked. JLC gets the kill while Marky takes Celestial's head.
Why? Celestial way. Because way. It's like there's no reason for him. Yeah, there's no reason for him to stay there, but here
comes Tiger with the charge. It comes the heroic entrance, forcing Mineski to back away, and now the Permafrost got scope. Trevor goes in with the Death Mark. Death Mark is on to Axel, but he does survive, leaving the support in the mid lane of TME gets taken out, and a trouble for Axel. Might be a cleanup. Coops is very low, and I think that will be the end of it.
Man, that was a blessing in disguise for Mineski. TME did expend a lot of resources to just take out Marky and Rocks, and that is undeniably a mistake by Celestial and TG. Even if you say all planned, hashtag calculated, the fact remains is that they gave up 2 kills there and just gave more to Marky. But very good triple kill for Exos, and 5-0-2 means that he will just be pushing his lane down there in the mid lane. Let's break down how everything happened there. This is just a natural consequence of staying with these champions around 4v2, but of course so much stuff was expended there on the side of TME, so this just allowed, and the turret aggro on JLC as well, so all of those combined just puts Marky and JLC low, and even with a hero's entrance, there's not enough damage reduction, and he can't even frontline anymore, so this just allows Exosen to get so much damage here. and Trevor was not able to take out his target. Strangely, he targeted James there, and this opens up Exosen for a triple kill.
That's going to be huge. I mean, triple kill onto the mid laner. The star player, Mineski, will have a really good lead with 502. Complaining that Zonius will completely shut down Trevor's pressure in the mid lane. And not to mention Trevor, again in this game too. I thought that he was performing a bit better, but after that top lane, he lost again his mid lane pressure.
So much mid lane pressure lost. His turret is very, very low. He's a Zed that's 0 and 2 at 13 minutes in the game. It's not a tragedy, but it's definitely very, very bad for TME that their assassin, one of their star players, is 2,000 gold behind his counterpart. Trevor, blast cone tilt might be happening there, but this, you are on the big stage. You are on the finals of, you're at Rampage, so you can't let these spins get to your head. And TME, they will have to rubber back into this game. They're only 1,000 gold behind. A lot of that is concentrated on Marky, so they have to put their eggs in that basket.
And so far, Marky has yet to complete his essence bridges. So, still hope for Mineski he can come back from this. But it's the fact that the first turret went to TME. And now, a really good start for TME so far. Let's hope they keep it up. But we know that Mineski, they like to extend the games into their own favor. When it comes to macro play, Mineski has this, is more superior in that field. But when it comes to skirmishes, TME, you're going to hand it to them. They know how to start a fight and end it. If they think they're going to win, they will win.
But that was, that earlier, that dive top lane, I think they tunnel vision so much onto shutting down Celestial that, you know, when you look at the tree and you miss the forest, entire forest around it, and that's basically what happened in the top lane. This puts a lot of momentum on Mineski's side. And once they take this mid lane turret, this will open the map so much for Mineski, and that's when they can start making their rotation, their signature macro play, which TME will have to just react to constantly.
And we can see that TME is also forced to respond to Mineski's macro play and roaming around up, because we know that TME, this is not how they like to play. They want to stay in the lane, farm it out, and snowball in their own way, but it's the fact that Mineski is offering so much pressure to the top, to the mid. They are forced to respond, and they can't even follow up because this is not how TME likes to play.
Yeah, putting the opponent out in a disadvantaged position because you're putting them out of their comfort zone. Very well played there by Mineski. So far, TME, since they are forced to play reactive and not like the usual proactive Team of the Eagles that just goes in and smashes everything, this allows Mineski to get so much pressure everywhere on the map. Top lane, bot lane, and mid lane is so low. Just a few pushes there come from Mineski. Will take out that turret plus Mountain Break, which will make that inevitable turret much easier.
This will actually give more room for Celestial in a way that Mineski, they will not commit to any team fights yet because they are going to wait for Celestial to grow up and then scale further into the late game. So we can expect this game to reach maybe 30-minute mark where Mineski will become more aggressive, whereas TME, I think they're ready for that, but not as ready compared to Trevor because he has just finished his Yoma's Ghost Blade at this late point in the game, whereas looking at Exosen's build, he has the Zonius Hourglass and the Jitabi and the Hunting Guys. Defensive itemization coming from Exosen compared to Trevor, who's still going more on offensive.
Because there's no choice for an assassin but to go all in.
But that's the bad part of an assassin. Yeah. When he falls off, he's almost out of the game.
And look at this, TME getting a little bit of consolation here, giving all of the gold actually to Marky. They're putting the right gold in the right hands. It seems like Mineski, however, will counter that with their own turret takedown in the mid lane. They might be going for Rift Herald. They are pinging for it. And actually Kaigu started ahead of time. Will TME actually be able to react to this?
This will be a 5-man fight if Mineski.
But Mineski really loves playing 5v5s. And it seems like it might be too dangerous for them to take it, but they're going for it.
Herald getting it out, but Mineski gets the Rift Herald. Look at the wing as well. TME gets caught off, and Rox goes in for the knockout, and now the Glacial Prison messes Marky's left alone. Fending for his life. James sticks up to it. Marky flashes away. Now Kaigo and James is chasing Marky. Marky gets taken out by Kaigo. Worth it for Mineski, and a double kill for Exo.
Mineski, even though they were the ones that were jumped on, what happens there? Oh, they're still going on.
JLC, the last man standing, trying to get some kill off onto James, will not happen. So Exo again with a very clean score right now, 803. He's
legendary actually, and this might actually give them another turret here. Top lane will put their gold 1,000 up. further from TME, and I really like how they played that. They didn't allow Marky use his gold on all of the members of Mineski. They just zoned him out, and that allowed Exos to just take over the team fight. Let's see how that happens here. You see James, all of his attention is placed onto Marky. Even though he missed the Glacial Prison, the wall there, keeping Marky there, pulling aggro from Marky just puts all of the gold away. And because Exosen is able to DPS his way on the other members who do not have gold, that just allowed Mineski to take over that fight.
I guess TME focused too much on the bot lane and ignored Exo's growth in the mid lane, knowing that Trevor, again, still not yet dictating how he should play as an assassin in this point of the game. This is the finals onto game 2. This is the best of 5. So, TME, if they lose this game, they are at match point. More pressure for them, and I don't think that's going to help out Brox and Trevor.
And this is the first time that some of these players have played on the big stage on Rampage. So, man, it's going to be very, very daunting to just have to carry all that weight, all of that pressure once you become 0-2. But they're not out of the game just yet. If they get a good team fight with Marky not being zoned out completely, this might actually work for them. But very, very scary. Mineski summoning the Rift Herald. She will come crashing down on that turret, dealing a lot of damage. And Mineski has them out of it, so this will be an easier scene to go for it.
TME's not giving up yet. They're going to be disbanding this bot lane inner turret.
Look at pressure. Look at mid lane. And they're blocking everyone off from that mid lane. This might give them the opportunity to actually take that gold, harvest that gold from the mid lane. Marky, JLC, everyone else just now they walk right into a trap.
Onto lots of members of TME. 4 members is caught off. Mark is left in a very small space. He gets out of it and over the wall. He is a kill match, but Trevor makes it out alive because members of Mineski focus too much onto Marky. Here comes the hero's address back into the base.
There we go. That's what TME needed. They think Mineski thinks that they catch TME in their trap.
Oh, Trevor's still not giving up yet, but James trying to escape. Will try and deny the ace, and if he does give Trevor a kill, he will be having a lead. So
last man standing, but TME, Trevor now has 3 kills. That should be enough gold to put him back in the game, and that's what I'm talking about. Mineski thinks that they caught TME in their trap because they were so antsy to get to the mid lane. And as soon as that wall, let's look at that. As soon as that wall expires, they all come very clumped up with a Glacial Prison, but they ignore a huge factor here. Marky and Trevor being able to deal so much damage in unison. And this Mineski's engage just backfires on them.
And look at the commitment that Mineski did onto Marky, completely ignoring Celestial safety and going straight into enemy's base. That was too deep, and that's the price that Mineski paid. Putting back Trevor into the game, he got solid kills, and that's going to be a huge gold lead for him.
900 gold.
Look at that.
And now he has completed his Black Cleaver, and while it's not an all-in offensive item, it's a little bit of defensiveness and offensiveness. It's still armor shred for who? Marky. So all that itemization come from Trevor is actually useful because he was behind. So the natural thing to do is to stop building selfishly. Even though he's an assassin, all of his physical damage will just amplify Marky's own physical damage, and all that will just help out the entirety of TME's team fights and skirmishes. And I really love how they play that. Very, very cool. Even though that they just completely ran into the Glacial Prison trap, the fact that Mineski did not pay attention to the feathers just completely obliterated and allowed Trevor to pick up the kills. Of course, while we're fixing a few issues here, let's take a look at our players. Just waiting for the game to continue. Of course, we'd like to take this time to actually thank our sponsors. Rampage 2017 is presented to you by PLDT, Smart, and Garena, and co-presented by Lenovo and Intel.
And we'll also like to thank our event partners, Cooler Master, Razer, Aegon by AOC, Zagu, and Razer. Also, we'd like to also thank our official hotel partner, Golden Phoenix Hotel Manila, our official mobile shopping app, Shopee, our official streaming partners, XSplit and Twitch.
Of course, we'd like to thank as well of course, we can't forget our major sponsors. Of course, that Seagate, Bloody Transcend, Bacchus Energy Drink, and HyperX. And coming into this game 2, it seems like it's still anyone's game. because you can see that huge turnaround from TME and puts him right back on the map, especially Trevor, because, man, 0-2 on that Zed at 13 minutes was definitely devastating for the entire dynamic of the team composition. But now that he has 3 kills, that's a lot of experience as well. So he's putting more points into those damage skills. And the closer that Zed gets, to higher levels, the more AD he gets. Because Living Shadows is basically an AD Rabadon. It gives him 25% at level 5. So the higher level Zed becomes, the more damage he still deals, which is natural, but it's much more amplified.
So for TME, I think the whole hope is not yet lost for them. Trevor did come back from a deficit thanks to that triple kill. So this will be TME's, maybe it's the start for their comeback. We'll see, because Mineski tends to overcommit sometimes, but I don't think that's going to be a huge setback for them. Mineski still has that superior macro play compared to TME. So I guess for TME's side, they have to stop depending on luck and try and dictate their own playstyle.
Yeah, having to stick to that aggressive playstyle definitely helped them out there. And because an over-aggressive playstyle, or rather an aggressive playstyle, isn't that bad. Of course, we're back into the game here. And aggressive playstyle isn't bad. It's just you have to temper it with which targets to focus. If you're very good at using a hammer, you better know, you're very strong, you can smash things. That's TME. And they're learning where the best places to use that hammer on. And it's practically worked out from that team fight. And if they're able to adapt, like how Mineski is able to adapt to a lot of situations, then they can actually take this game too. And they have a lot of potential. And looking at the itemization so far, very good items for Marky. Trevor still catching up, but getting there. And the tanks, they're doing their jobs. They're building tanky, they're frontlining, they're CCing and healing. Definitely. And now the TME can now actually put out their own initiative. This Infernal Drake will be very, very helpful for Trevor and Marky, but it seems like Mineski will not let that happen.
It's actually going to be a very dangerous goal for TME. Axel still has a beautiful fall. He does a full summers up. There comes Hammond for a Glacial Prison. Will not connect this yet. He's still saving up. Marky is still trying to solo members. Here comes the charm. Quickness from Rocks with a 2-man knockup. But Rebound soon will try and knock him back away. Marky is very low. He'll back away. But Hammond gets picked up by Coop. Leaving Celestial for the cleanup. He is left to clean up the crew and the map. You can see Rocks is very low. Axel cuts him off. And now it will be a chase, but Celestial nukes it from the sky.
And that is just a barrage coming from Zesta. Now it's going to be TG trying to fight off JLC. JLC, the last man standing. He's not giving up.
He has no mana yet, so I guess it's going to be JLC buying some time.
Blast Cone might be his savior.
Denied! The denial of the Blast Cone. What a slap to the face onto JLC.
And this gives Mineski just the ability to push this mid lane in. And that fight really extended. Like TME, they excel in these short bursts of fighting where Marky can get a good burst out with a Blade Caller and Trevor can get an assassination and then weave out of the fight. And let's see how that happens here, because looking at this, Exosen on the side, dealing a lot of damage, and even though Rocks and JLC tried to zone him out, trying to take out the gold, it seems like Exosen is just dancing around JLC, still able to deal a lot of damage, and because of all that's happened, Marky, Rocks, and the rest of the squad are just so low, which allows Celestial to clean him up, and because that fight was extended, Kog'Maw really shined.
There's the late film.
Bullseye right there.
Bullseye, and now TME still though, they did get the Infernal Drake bot. Maybe this will be a trade on Mineski. They're already in the boundary.
They are doing it not as fast as they would want. TME will be getting here in time. Seems like they don't want to risk another smite fight between James and Cubs. They do not have the security of the ramp and the fees for this one, so just have to give that up. Because if you're caught in a pit with Marky positioning well with the feathers and Trevor being able to single out one target, that is just catastrophic. Catastrophic.
Mineski right now, they have to be a bit more clever in a way than how they start their Baron, because we did see that in game 1. They had a lot of mistakes in the Baron pit. It got stolen by Rocks. One time in the Infernal Drake pit, I think the support of TME. Rocks actually stole it with a Morgana Dark Bind, so this is something that Mineski is learning. They're adapting. It was shown in an interview that Celestial likes to play the long game and try and adapt and adjust to the enemy team, and I think it's showing right now in Game 2. But for TME's side, they are catching up, not as bad as Game 1, but now TME, they're back on their feet. Let's see how Trevor will try.
Still walking a little bit wobbly,
Trevor,
but they are starting to rev up their engine. And if they can actually continue getting good team fights with Marky being able to deal out a lot of DPS, they will just take away the game from there. But Mineski, because right now, Celestials has a lot of assists and 2 kills and a lot of CS down, quite a lot of CS down his belt, but enough to actually make him a relevant threat when the fight becomes extended. And Exos, and with how much safety, disengage, and CC that they have, and the reset of health that Kaigo has with getting Skarl back after getting max courage, that could actually give Celestial, if he's not killed fast enough, the ability to clean up the fights and just whittle them down and finish them off with the ultimate.
But so far as itemization is going, I gotta say for Axel, he is not even going back to more defensive, he's not going full offensive, getting up that Void Stab. But for JLC, he is catching up in more defensive. He did get the TM, so this will give him more survivability and teamfight, but I don't think his teammates will survive long enough to actually use JLC to his full potential.
Because the thing is, Thornmail shines in these extended fights, right? But you don't want an extended fight against Mineski. I don't think the Thornmail is a 5-star item for this situation, but it does help against the barrage of attack speed coming from Celestial as well as Kaigu. That is probably the reason why he bought that. Mineski is still pressuring the Baron here, so TME cannot play around too much. You'll have to mind that pressure.
JLC is the bot side. He does have the teleport ready if ever Mineski commits to the Baron, but Kaigo is there in the bot side, pressuring it, trying to offer more pressure for his teammates, because if they take this Baron, it could be game set.
They have a lot of siege. The 10% true damage on Bacchus as well. Oh, wow. Very devastating. Seems like they're doing this much more quickly this time, but I think Koops is there right in time. The ward as well. They're going for it.
JLC will journey, but who gets the Baron is the question. It will be TME stealing the Baron, but starting to fight. But will Mineski deny that Baron accident? Takes down Trevor, but Trevor strays it for Celestial, and now again JLC is left alone to fend for himself. Mark is still alive. Koops is there for the assist, and now Guardian of the Proc. This will be Marky clean up. He does get a shot on Axel, trying to chase down Marky. Marky's not getting out yet. 3 members of Mineski still alive. Koops flushes away. Hammers is there. He does not have mana. Marky goes in the flash in. Cleans up that fight, but it would be Mineski coming out on top.
An ace as well, so that Baron steal will not persist through those death timers. Still, it would have been so great for Mineski if they were able to secure that Baron, but once again, Koops being able to just steal away resources from Mineski, and that was a huge asset, that Baron, but they could have used that, because 4 members up plus Baron would have just been an inhibitor again. But let's see how they actually failed to secure that Baron. Seems like Thomas trying to put it in range here. Permafrost, actually no, it was just a missed smite coming from here. The fight that comes after, once again, Marky is zoned away from the bulk of the fight. Actually, 2 members, Koops and Marky, just trying to take down Kaigo alone, while the rest of Exos and off camera just slaughtering the rest of TME. So very well played here. Again, once again by Mineski, knowing who to zone out. Of course, it's right now it's still a 2 for 3, but because of the way that the fight went, Marky and Rocks were positioned in a way that they would be retreating into the enemy base. So they would have been less chances of them surviving. This gives an ace to Mineski.
Well, at least they denied the Baron.
Yeah, at least they denied the Baron, because if Mineski got the Baron, that is probably an inhibitor or 2. It's probably a lot of pushing power of that combined with a Mount Drake.
So for TME, they are buying some time for themselves, but time's ticking. Mineski is getting a bit impatient. They want to secure the 2nd game to reach match point and put TME in a corner, really pressuring them in this finals of the PGS. Whoever wins this will be moved on the GPL, and it's the fact that there's 2 slots for Worlds right now. It's Worlds on the line, so anyone in this PGS so far, they want to try their best because it's their shot in the international scene.
Yeah, and having all that international experience, just getting into Worlds is so huge for you as a player,
This
as
is
a
what they're
team,
fighting for.
as an organization, and as the entirety of Philippine esports. So they really have to break their backs here to win this game. It seems like TME, even with those losses that they sustained, they are not giving up. Mountain Drake, very, very tanky Dragon here, but look at that, just being shredded by Celestial. And the way that TME's been playing their team fights, I've been observing, and Marky and Rox, at least Marky, keeps getting zoned away from the bulk of the fight, while Crooks and JLC don't have enough damage to actually survive through Exocet and Celestial. I think they're trying too hard to actually dive very, very deep, and that leaves Marky vulnerable. I don't think Rox is enough to actually peel for Marky at this point of the game, where Mineski 5,000 gold ahead, and Kaigu is just able to just power through 5, 2, and 7, 12,400 total gold down his belt, worth in items. And that just allows him to face tank a lot of Marky's and Rox's damage, just enough to push them away from the real bulk of the fight. And what happens is TME, all of their gold, most of their gold just goes down the drain when Marky is not dealing substantial DPS. So that's what they need to do.
Yeah,
they need to allow Marky to free hit by peeling for him instead of having JLC and Coops really dive for Celestial.
But will that work out the same way? Because we did see that when TME dives in all onto Celestial, it leaves Marky for Axel to pick up very easily.
That's really an unfortunate consequence of Trevor having been behind before. He's still quite behind 4-4 and 0 compared to Exocet. In an ideal world for TME, Trevor would be very at least even with Exocet, and that would allow him to actually burst down Celestial even with the help of probably burst him down enough, because EG's there. He's not going to kill Celestial, but just enough that he's out of the fight while Marky is still able to free hit onto Kaigu and James. But right now, this is the situation that they're dealing with. 5,000 gold behind, 2 Mountain Drakes behind, so they have to play around that.
The next trick will be Elder, so this will be a very juicy objective for Mineski. And Mineski right now, they don't need to even commit to a 5v5. They can just slowly push turrets, let the Mountain Drake do the work, and slowly they're going to win the game. But for TME, they will try and fend off the incoming waves, but this gives them less room, less map control, and this gives Mineski the objective of the Baron to grab for free.
And Baron will be coming up in 2 minutes now, and with the pressure that Mineski's been applying across the map, 1-3-1 configuration, very natural for the composition with the Talia, and all of that pressure just pulling TME very, very thin. Weaver's Wall just
Weaver's Wall to top 2 members of TME. Marky is left to defend for himself, where Grove is trying to make his way inside.
Not the best wall.
Rox goes into lockup. You guys supposed to quickness. Heroic Angels for a 3-man lockup, but the zone is there, and Marcus left alone. Kaigu going for a charge onto JLC, leaving Marcus with 3 stack of feathers. James left alone. No one is helping out, but it will be a trade-off. Celeste takes on Coop, and it will be Sejuani, which is JLC.
They
going for a
tried
trade-off,
to
and
take
that's
that
a bad trade
Yeah,
for
it's like,
TME.
if you see that fight, Trevor was able to zone out Celestial from the bulk of the fight, but now James was face tanking Marky damage now.
Rox goes in, trying to defend
The
Marky.
last fight.
Trevor from the fountain. Michael for cleanup. Celeste is very low. No mana yet. Trevor will not even commit to that. It's still dangerous. Because
much
at this point, the Baron is live in less than 46 seconds. You don't want to do anything. That's going to cost you the game.
Yeah, that wasn't the best Weaver's Wall from Exocet, because it didn't block off anyone from TME, because Trevor can just shadow over that wall. A more ideal placed wall would have given them at least an inhibitor there, at least enough time to whittle down this inhibitor, but I like the proactiveness there from TME. As soon as the Weaver's Wall was placed down, no longer any displacement from the wall for Mineski, and that's an opportunity for them to dive in. And I like how they played that initially, on how Marky was free hitting, and Trevor was doing his job, pushing away Celestial from the bulk of the fight, but not able to finish him off. That was almost fine, but the fact that the James was just face tanking so much damage from TME that those damage from Marky didn't realize onto Exocet and Kaigu.
It's the fact that Marky had a lot of room to stack themselves up. It's the fact that Mineski, when we see JLC and Cooks going in, they're trying to zone out EXO and Celestial, but at the price of that, they actually die off. So who's left to protect Marky? It can't just be Rocks. There has to be another Vanguard for TME, especially I would pick if it should be JLC to guard Marky and Coops to be the initiator.
Yeah, but Coops can be a very good initiator. He has a lot of tools down his belt. He has an execution mechanic on his Void Rush as well. Another option is to have JLC be the one to engage and have Coops as like just a bot to knock off whoever's trying to go for Mark, because GLC is much more effective against Exocet than Coops is. We'll see how that all plays out. The Baron Pit is a very, very devious area of the map. Doesn't seem like Mineski wants to fall.
Axel cuts off JLC. Marky with a finish storm denies the damage. Marky's still healthy. Ham is sticking out to Marky, but Celestial's there. Left the free hit. Trevor goes into Celestial, but Celestial gets the upper hand. Marky's still trying to survive, but looking at Kaigo doing his job, zoning out the ADC of TME. This is going to be a cleanup with Rocks.
And I think this might actually be game. These death timers are quite long. That was a great wall coming from Exos and walling them off from an escape route, walling them off from their teammates, allowing Mineski to just go for the kill, straight for it. And I think this is going to be a 0-2 for TME, putting Mineski one last step towards victory.
Possibly going to Worlds, because this is Worlds on the line, and now Mineski tearing out the Nexus, secures Game 2 of the finals of the best of 5 of PGS. Congratulations to Mineski for match point.
Oh dear, this is quite dangerous for TME, isn't it?
Super. I mean, I thought that TME got back in their feet.
Yeah.
They had a good start.
They showed signs, and I like how they were able to adapt. They saw that their play style of let's just go in with Coops and JLC wasn't working anymore, because Marky was just getting shredded down. They tried to adapt to that a little bit too late, because at that point, Celestial and the rest of Mineski were just way too ahead.
They actually caught up just in time.
They were able to catch up, but not enough to actually hang on to the ledge. They fell down and crashed into a 0-2. But they show signs of improvements coming from Game 1, and that's actually might be their sliver of hope to hang on to. That has to be what they focus on. What went wrong in that game was Trevor went 0-2, and that really pulled away a lot of pressure coming from TME.
And it's also the fact that Axel has been performing really well
very
in this
well.
finals of the PGS. He's been performing so well in Game 1, and now in Game 2 he is proving himself to be one of the star player of Mineski.
Just roaming everywhere, no matter what champion he uses, or rather, if he can't roam, never allowing his opponent to get the mid lane priority, to get the mid lane pressure. So very, very well played from Exos and the rest of Mineski there.
I gotta say, this is a very interesting finals of the PGS. Seeing how TME, they ended this finals being undefeated, but now it has been broken up by Mineski with a clean score so far for 2-0. Let's see if TME will fight back, make it a 2-1. This is match point, but this was a big game, but let's see it on the big stage. Take it away, hosts.
Sure.
All right.
Hello. We're back. Andito na naman kami.
Ito na, summoners, say hi to the camera. Right there. What's up, what's up? Woo!
Woo, hello.
Alive pa yung mga tao dito. So,
macho rin ako.
Hoy!
Macho na siya.
Naging fit gamer ka rin ah.
Nahiya ako eh. Nagpalit na ako ng IGN.
Ganda ng katawan natin, Brad. Diba?
Okay naman ah.
Bagay ba sa kanya?
Huwag lang sa side view.
Medyo daw. Huwag ka lang side view ah.
Huwag lang. Harap lang.
Harap lang.
Alright, yun, ano nangyari dyan?
Grabe.
Di ba pinag-usapan natin kanina, yung parang kung sinong kalaban na, ngayon, Mineski. Ayoko sabihin. Actually, ayoko sabihin. Kasi 2-0 na.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
2-0 na.
It's very surprising.
It's very surprising.
Nakakagulat. Promise.
Magaganda rin yung laban.
Yeah.
You know? The first game, sa simula pa lang, parang TME.
Yes.
And then, you just never know kung sino mananalo talaga until the Nexus is destroyed. So ngayon, 2-0. Well played. GGWP.
Hindi natin alam.
So, tingnan na sa game 3 kung makakahabol.
Oo.
Ang
Siyempre,
TME.
you never know. Baka pwede pa.
Oo, baka pwede pa, di ba? Comeback.
Okay pa ba kayo?
Okay ba?
Oh! Na-clutch ba kayo?
Hindi.
Hindi.
Ubus na sa premium.
Sold out yata yung food
Hapunan lang. Last night. Kasi meron yung mga tao na nag-camp dito, 1 a.m., di ba? Madaling araw.
1 a.m. Dito na sila.
Sana nakakain na sila. Nakapahinga pa. Yung iba, natulog na.
Pero ang nakakatuwa dito, it's almost 7 p.m. Pero you could see there are still a lot of
nandito
people
pa sila.
here
Halos kompleto
inside the
pa.
World Trade Center.
Alam ba natin kung gaano karami talaga yung tao ngayon? Was there a number that they have said?
So far, wala pa. Pero based on my experience attending different Rampage events,
alin yung pinakamarami? Ngayon?
This by far.
Kasi yung kanina,
is the biggest.
nung nasa labas, 8 a.m., sobrang haba ng pila.
Oo, sabi ng isang friend ko, 2 kilometers long. Lampas pa ng pal. Doon pa. Doon pa yun eh.
Buti nga hindi naabutan ng ulan nung nakapasok na. Inabutan!
Ano yan?
Waterproof. Waterproof ang mga summoners natin.
So, yan.
So, without further ado, we would like to thank some of our sponsors, especially this one right now. It is PLDT. So, we would like to thank PLDT Home Fiber because they are giving away items from its gaming partner, Razer. Okay.
Ayan.
So, we would like to announce the winners.
Winners.
Ayan, kung bumisita kayo sa PLDT booth kanina,
Kung bumisita kayo.
may pag-asa kayong manalo ng Razer gear.
Mahal eh. Kasi maganda. Matibay pa. Diba? Everyone wants a Razer. So, here we go. Some of the prizes they can win are a Razer Abyssus, Razer Goliathus Speed.
Yeah.
So, ano yan? Mouse
and mousepad.
And mousepad.
Yep.
Meron yung Kraken USB, mga ganyan. So, our first winner is the winner of a Razer Abyssus 1-800 plus a Razer Goliathus Speed is Christian Jeffrey Jimenel.
Congratulations!
Congratulations kung kilala mo.
Nandiyan ka ba?
Jeffrey!
Andito ba?
Oh, wala!
Lahat tumayo.
Nandiyan ka
Ako
ba?
si Jeffrey.
Andito ba?
Ayun ang tanong. Nandito pa siya.
O umuwi? Ba't ang
Jeffrey!
daming tumatayo? Tas upo.
Oh, Jeffrey. Saan si Jeffrey?
Christian Jeffrey Jimeno.
May ID ka?
Where are you?
Pero, syempre, hindi ka aakit ngayon.
Oo.
You can claim it at the booth.
Sa booth mo ika-claim. So kung naririnig mo ngayon yung pangalan mo, punta ka sa PLDT booth.
Yes. Which is sa likod nun, di ba? Sa may exit.
Yeah. Oo. So,
And the next winner.
Oh,
Next
our
winner.
next winner.
Of
Our
a
next
Razer.
winner of Razer Kraken USB will be Raymart Bactol.
All right. Raymart Bactol. You have won a Razer Kraken USB.
Yeah, congratulations! So kung naririnig mo ulit ang pangalan mo, punta ka sa PLDT booth.
And the last one, winning also a Razer Kraken USB, Ermel Pangilinan. Nandito ka pa kaya?
Hindi natin alam eh.
Nandito pa kaya yan.
Ayan.
So
Kung
that's
naririnig
once
mo
again,
pangalan mo, punta
once
ka
again,
na.
iulitin namin yung mga pangalan. It is Christian Jeffrey Jimeno, Raymart Bactol, and Ermel Pangilinan.
Pangilinan.
Yeah.
So, congratulations. Ermel Pangilinan, please go to PLDT booth.
Ayan. If you want to magkaroon din ng chance, you could visit the other sponsor booths.
Yeah.
I think
That's
they're
right.
giving away prizes right now.
Ang dami nila dyan. May HyperX, Seagate,
Lalo yung
Bacchus.
mga nauuhaw, grabe
Mineski
yung
Infinity.
Bacchus. gising na ako sa Bacchus.
Gising ka sa... Yan ang kailangan talaga sa gaming kasi. Inom ng isa.
Ayan.
Game na.
So again, thank you so much PLDT Home Fiber, the country's most beautiful and powerful broadband.
Yeah. Woo! Okay pa ba kayo?
Testing
ba?
pa. Ano yan?
Hi, Mama. Dito ako sa Rampage. Okay lang ako.
Yung mama mo, di okay.
Yung mama mo hinahanap ka.
Halika na dito. Halika.
Punta ka dito.
Oh, sige. Oy, oy.
Oh my God.
Akit, oh. Oy, may Dragon Slayer jacket. Sige, pakita mo ka sa kanila. Sige, ito yung camera. Camera, paki-focus dito. Anong mensahe mo sa mama mo? Anong gusto mong sabihin?
Ma, ingat ka lagi ha. Mahal na mahal kita.
Champion ka ngayon!
Alam ba niyang nandito ka?
Oh.
Kaya nagpapag-good shot.
Ayan, speaking.
Oh, diba? Huwag ka mahiya.
Binabati ko rin pala yung asawa ko sa bahay.
Meron pa. Meron mga mensahe na gusto niyong iparating sa nanay mo. Ikaw.
Sino? Tinatext na ba kayo ng mga magulang niyo? Uwi na!
Uwi na. Medyo gabi na. Uwi.
Ma, pauwi na ako. Maglalakad na ako. Premium kasi. Sakat na.
Ano siya? Anong nangyari sa kanya? Ha? Oh, sige, halika na. Halika na.
Oh, punta ka dito. Dali.
Hoy!
Nako.
Nahiya bigla.
Ang lalakas nila gumanong gano'n pag tinawag. Diba? Ayoko na.
Pag tinawag, turuan.
Yung mga kaibigan, todo magbuyoy. Ito!
Ito.
So yun lang guys. Ito na, malapit na yung Game 3.
Yes.
We will go through a little short break. Actually, baka may joke ka.
Wala na. Hindi, babatiin ko lang. Ako.
Joke?
May joke?
Oo.
Wait lang, may joke ako eh.
May
Wait
joke
lang.
ka. Grabe, host kayo dito. Dapat
Anong
may handa
aso
kayong
ay-
joke. Oh,
Ay,
meron.
wait lang. Uy, anong hayop ang laging nauuntog?
Okay, tapos na.
Bakit alam
Tapos
nyo?
na.
Sobrang excited pa ako sabihin.
Ito lang.
Napakinggan ko yun sa parang ano eh. Ano yung nag-trending na video.
High five tayo dyan. Oh,
Appear na lang.
Yung abs ko nagiging ab lang, lumalaki, nagiging isa eh. Hindi ko na kaya mag-control.
Alright, so, nagre-ready na ang Team Mineski, malaman na ang TME. So, syempre, nag-uusap sila kung ano yung next strategy nila for the third game.
So, kailangan nating abangan because Game 3 is a crucial game.
That's it.
Kasi if Mineski wins,
that's it.
Tapos
it's
na.
over.
Finish
But
na. Champion na
if
sila.
Yeah.
Emily takes it, we still have Game 4.
Yes.
So,
At pag
tingnan natin kung
nanalo
ano
pa sila
mangyayari.
doon,
That's right.
may game 5 pa.
Iyan. So, ayan, antayin-tayin natin. So, again, sa asawa ko, good evening.
Ang tanong
Nandito
is,
rin ako.
The summoners. Sinong gusto niyo
Yan, sino tingin niyo mananalo? Game 3.
Game 3.
Mineski or TME?
O, isa
Parang-
muna.
pero
Sino
sa
gusto
totoo,
manalo?
kanina.
Yung Mineski.
Eto na, sa kabila.
Manila Eagles. Nako.
Pero kanina, TME, talagang lakas. Pero ngayon, syempre, don't lose faith in your team. You never know who's gonna win the third or maybe fourth or fifth game. So, abangan nyo yan.
Tingnan
We're gonna
natin.
go to a little short break ngayon and we will be back. We'll hand it over to you guys. Maybe we'll go to a little advertisement break. So, mamaya na lang.
Mamaya.
Bye-bye.
Good evening, Summoners, and we welcome you back to the third game of the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series. I'm Vulcan, and with me is Amplifier. We are now at match point. Will TME fight back Mineski, making it 2-1, or will Mineski secure this with a clean slate? 3-0, starting their journey towards GPL and possibly Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, this is really there's huge pressure on this game. TME, they had such a huge win streak. There were a lot of expectations. Maybe they could carry this over from the win streak from group stage over to this finals. Mineski, the group stage didn't work out so well, and then they had this roster change, and then everything changed. Celestial brought this whole new air to the team. They're really a much different team than what we thought they were during the group stage. And now they're one win away from going to GPL and possibly representing us once more at Worlds. Imagine that. Mineski is the only team to have represented the Philippines at Worlds back in Season 3, and now they're 1 win away from doing it once again.
Who do you think is going to win this game, Amplifier?
I mean, ever since the analyst desk, we've all generally agreed that Mineski do have the upper hand in most parts, but we can't count TME out yet. Like we said, reverse sweeps have happened many times over in esports. So let's take a look at the bans now.
And also as Eruption said, it's not yet over yet until it's over. So let's see, will this be TME's fighting back game? Will they come back with a 2-1, or will Mineski crush them and deny any chance of hope and take away the championship?
All right, so let's take a look at the bans. So TME, Tamkench, Talia banned out. That's going to be Zach and Sejuani banned from the side of Mineski. So interesting, TME really not wanting to see this Talia and EXO again. And then Tamkench is something they've banned pretty consistently throughout the draft. And we were talking a bit about this with some of the other analysts, where it's a weird ban because it's not something that Mineski is likely to take quickly, and it keeps revealing that TME wants to play Thresh because Tamkench is a really good pick against the Thresh. So maybe, we'll see Rox pick it up again. Mineski leaving Thresh open, so they might, there it is. So automatic Thresh there, going for Rox. Cho'Gath is banned on the side of Mineski. We'll see what Mineski prioritize because they're going to get the 2 picks. Will they go for the Kalista and then a support? There are also a lot of top laners open. Maokai, though, not here. So maybe Gragas is still there. Elise is still open for Hammons as well. We'll have to see what they do decide to get. Caitlyn is actually open. And there it is. So they're going to give that to Celestial. And we'll see what the last pick is going to be. Maybe Jungler. And there it is, the Elise. So there it is. 2 really strong picks, and Hammons is on a comfort pick. Elise is one of his favorite picks, definitely. Now we'll see TME. What will they get? Jarvan, a good flex pick. This is strong, both jungle and top. We'll have to see where TME plays Jarvan. And now we'll have to see Schreber. He's a guy that hasn't really been showing up in this series so far. We've seen him kind of struggle since Game 1 and Game 2. He got that single triple kill in the previous game, but since then we haven't really seen him shine that much. Kalista is going to be the pick for TME.
Very interesting picks coming from TME. This is something that we've seen before. This is match point. Everything is on the line. That TME worked all the way up from past splits. They have been performing that well, but this is their moment to prove to everyone here at Rampage 2017 that they came here with a winning streak, 100% win streak, and it was not a joke. So TME pulling all the stops, trying to deny Mineski a clean game.
Indeed, now Mineski going to be locking in the Shen for Kaigu, so taking that away from JLC as well. We'll have to see what they do, decide to ban Cassiopeia. Interestingly, Mineski going to ban that one out. I wonder what EXO is going to play this game, but he's got a lot of picks up his sleeve. Talia not going to be one of them. Orianna is still open, so maybe they'll get that later. Syndra taken away from TME. Or rather, from EXO.
As for TME's side, I wonder who will be their top laner, because this is a flex pick, so TME, they have the element where they can fiddle with their lineup as early as now.
Yeah.
Whereas Mineski, they have locked in a solid top laner, a Shen. JLC loves that champion, and I've seen him play that Shen where he makes a top lane tank champion more of an AD carry. It becomes every time JLC touches a tank champion, it becomes a carry champion for some reason.
Yeah, we'll have to see now. Last ban coming in for TME. What will they take away? Orianna actually banned on Mineski's side. Oh, the Braum taken away from TG. So Mineski still have no support. Rakan is still open. Alistar, Tarek are both still open as well. We'll have to see what Mineski do decide to lock in. What will EXO play? Will he go for an AD champion this time? Still a couple of options though. Corki is still open. Galio, Lucian. Oh, there's the Tarek. So we're going to be seeing Tarek this game on TG, which will be interesting. That can negate a lot of the engage that Kalista, Thresh, and Jarvan have. So if they do decide to engage, Tarek can defend all of them. What will TME go for? They still need a mid laner, maybe a top laner. Cops, though, really loves a Jarvan, so this might go... Oh, so there's the Corki.
They'll be taking away the Corki from Mineski, one of the champions who does have that routine buff just before Worlds. So let's see how TME will solidify their lineup. We have yet to see who is the jungler, who is the top. And they will be removing Kaigu's Kled. This is TME's draft, looking more of a team-oriented composition. Wait.
Oh! No! It's Gangplank. So this is something we haven't... Okay, so context, Rampage 2016. This is what JLC played last year. And it gives me bad memories because this was a pick we haven't seen in a really long time. And it's not something we see in the meta. In fact, looking at international draft, it wasn't picked at all this week.
Oh my god.
So it's a surprise pick. And the final pick of Mineski is Diana. So I don't know, what are we even doing?
I did not expect a Gangplank, but this is match point. If JLC picked the Gangplank, he better pick it for a good reason.
Yeah.
And he has to prove it to us that this is something, this is their last resort. I mean, if they lose this game, all their effort, all the momentum they had ever since the start of the split will be gone to waste, because this is something they have to prove themselves. Mineski, they had a rough start, but now as mid of the season, mid-split goes on, they got acquired Celestial, a new weapon to Mineski, and let's see, this could be possibly the last game of the final.
This draft really shocked me. I really don't know what to think, but we'll have to see. JLC, he's been playing tanks this entire split, so we don't know how he's going to perform suddenly on a carry. We're actually on a 3-carry composition here from TME, which is you're going for the Gangplank, Corki, and the Kalista, and then they'll be relying on the engage from Jarvan and Thresh. So we'll have to see if they can pull that off. EXO on Diana, something we also never really see. It's going to be interesting to see how EXO and Shepard will interact in mid lane with this matchup.
Oh man.
Man, I really... We'll have to see. That's all I can say.
This is actually an interesting draft from TME, but for Diana mid, we do see that it's sometimes effective when it comes to a Corki, because in terms of XK mechanics, Corki is very limited, whereas Diana has 2, could be a double gap closer. So this is an understandable pick. Maybe EXO wants to try something new. Let's see. This is match point, and I wonder if TME, Team Manila Eagles, this is their last chance of redemption.
The interesting thing here is that Mineski is kind of on a high-pressure team composition because you have Caitlyn and Elise in this game. So TME cannot give up early game too quickly, otherwise Mineski is going to snowball. Because TME, they're drafting a triple carry, and 2 of the champions are also Trinity Force champions. So it's going to take quite a long time before TME can really spike and fight back against Mineski. That's where Mineski can capitalize. Can Mineski shut down TME early, or will TME be able to turtle effectively enough to reach that mid to late game and then crush Mineski after? So many questions right now that are left unanswered, but whoever answers them correctly, TME, they can shut down Mineski here, maybe keep the world's dream alive, or maybe Mineski just closes this out 3-0 and maybe get that chance at Worlds again.
I don't know, but judging from how the picks are turning out for TME, it's still not a really perfect draft from TME, but it's the fact that we are still seeing some very high meta or highly contested picks from TME side, so all hope is not lost, and especially for TME, who is facing match point. So the pressure they're facing right now is tremendous. We could see the players trembling sometimes, but I gotta say, entering the summer split in the PGS, TME caught us by surprise with great improvements from the recent roster changes. But for Mineski, also surprised us with Korean import.
Yeah, huge change to both teams when they went for their own respective roster changes. But the pressure is really on Team Manila Eagles right now. And I can't imagine because, like we've said over and over, TME, they're newer than Mineski. Mineski have the experience with them. TME, they still might have the jitters from being, on the big stage in front of all of these people. It's been their first finals, PGS finals as a team. And all this pressure, being placed on them with their last game, it might make them, there's a high tendency of tilting in a game like this. So, they have to really keep their composure. They have to be calm and make the right calls, and especially with this kind of composition that we were not expecting.
Well, this will be more, at least it'll be more fun because we're seeing a Gangplank top.
Yeah.
I personally don't like a Gangplank top, but I hope that JLC, he makes it work. If he can convert a tank champion into an AD carry, he can convert an AD carry to maybe a hyper carry in a way that. But Gangplank is naturally a hyper carry, but takes a lot of time and effort. But let's see it in action because this is match point, and I'm pretty excited to see how TME can come back from this loss and try and push back Mineski.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, JLC is the hyper carry right now of this composition, although of course there's also pressure on Corky and Kalista. So like I said during the pick and ban, when we saw the team compositions, it's about Mineski putting on the pressure early game, and the big question mark is, can TME make it to mid-game without giving too much of a lead to Mineski? Because once they give that small lead to Mineski, Mineski can really capitalize on that with the Caitlyn and the Elise.
So to the summoners out there, who do you think is going to win this match? I mean, this is game 3, match point, and we're seeing very interesting drafts from TME, but I personally want TME to win because I'm a fan, because I've seen how they performed in the PGS Summer Split, and I gotta hand it to especially Marky. I've seen his journey from Celestial to Cerberus, and now Team Manila Eagles. I've seen his videos, and I'm personally a fan. You can see it right now, but I am not going to be biased, but I hope that this could be TME's saving grace.
Yeah, I mean, the story for both teams is really big because, like you said, TME, they've been looking to finally get their chance at the finals. They've been looking to get their first championship for PGS. Isn't it such a wonderful thing to go through a clean run in the group stage and then just jump straight into a chance at Worlds? I mean, that's a really big story. And at the same time, for Mineski, it's also a big story because they weren't sure if they were even going to make it to the finals. And then Celestial comes in, they change completely, and now they have chance number 2 at representing the Philippines at Worlds. So both teams right now are really hungry to win this finals, and TME... Mineski rather are 1 game away, and TME need to stop them.
I hope they do. I mean, to the summoners out there, who do you think is going to win, and who are you rooting for? Let's hear for TME. Who is rooting for TME to come back from their loss? Can I hear it? Oh my God, this is bad.
How about Mineski? Yeah, that's a bigger cheer.
It's either they know that Mineski is going to win, so they don't accept effort, or they know that TME might be surprising to them, so they're saving up their energy to shout at the screen to TME that this is what we've been waiting for.
It's happened before, right? Underdogs, sometimes when you're at the top, you become complacent. Mineski can't afford to be complacent right now. But if they do, it might give TME the opening to take this game. So, yeah, again, just like Eruption said, it's not over until the Nexus explodes, so we really have to see. But again, of course, we have to bounce back. This event wouldn't be possible, of course, without our sponsors. So Rampage 2017, of course, is being presented to you by PLDT Smart and Garena, co-presented by Lenovo Intel with our major sponsors Seagate, Bloody, Transcend, Bacchus Energy Drink, and HyperX.
And special thanks to our event partners, Cooler Master, Razer, Egan by AOC, Zagu, and Razer. So thank you so much, and we'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our official partners, our official hotel partner, Golden Phoenix Hotel Manila, our official mobile shopping app, Shopee. But before that, let's get straight to the rift to see how Game 3 will turn out. All right, this is game 3 of TME and Mineski. Match point. Let's get straight to it. I hope, personally, that TME might come back and make it a bit more exciting. But for Mineski, they do have tremendous momentum coming from game 1 and 2. But let's see how this match point will turn out.
So much is on the line in this game. And TME, on what could possibly be their last match, they bring out something up their sleeve. This gangplank is totally unexpected, and I'm really excited to see how it's going to turn out.
What if this is what we've been waiting for? JLC on a gangplank. Think about it. This is such a surprising pick that Mineski might have been like a gangplank.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. How do I play against gangplank? But normally,
catch them off guard.
Yeah, when Kaigo is playing on a Shen, he would naturally push, leaving JLC to farm on the turret. So this time, JLC will be playing more of a hyper-carry champion, whereas Koops will be transitioning to a jungler off-tank.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. So far, things seem pretty standard. No invades, no deep wards.
Ooh, interesting keystone for JLC.
Oh,
Look
except
Storm Reader Surge.
Oh, yeah.
He will be playing that cleanup crew, and I know that one of my co-casters, especially Atlas, he loves that gangplank.
But can he win on it?
He can never win on it. I bet my whole career that Atlas will never win a decent game with the gangplank.
Yeah.
So let's see it from a pro player's point of view that JLC can make it happen.
Yeah, this is also actually another exciting matchup here. Diana, Corki. Diana, not something we've seen. EXO never played it during the group stage. And in fact, I can't even recall the last time EXO played it in his career. But we'll have to see how that one will turn out. And again, it's just so important to always remember the big picture where since Gigabyte Marines were able to secure a second slot for Southeast Asia back in MSI, it has given, yeah, again, C, 2 slots. So whoever makes it into the finals of GPL Summer, both of them, regardless of who wins
my
the
god!
Oh!
JLC forced to flash away in critical health. And the fact that Kaigo still had his flash, maybe it was to show a bit of mercy, I don't know. But JLC, I think, is probably got a bit of hurt on that.
Yeah, JLC, of course, going to be a bit weaker during this early game. And Kaigo not going to let him get away with that cheese pick there. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on him, as well as the other lanes during this early game. TME, they're definitely going to suffer during this early game. They have to keep watch of Hammond.
Oh boy, flash in! Oh, the combo does not connect. So that would be a summoner burnt for Koops and EXO. So maybe this will give Trevor a bit of a space to breathe. But knowing how EXO likes to play so aggressive, he's been dictating how a mid laner should play. Oppress, don't give a chance and let them suffer.
Yeah, EXO really been shutting Trevor down actually, even in the past 2 games. We've seen, even if he was on Atalia versus Zed, you know, Zed had a pretty hard time during the early game as well. Oriana, he went completely off, so EXO definitely still has that form. We'll have to see if he can keep it up on Diana though. And we're seeing James going back to his jungle. Scuttle secured there for Jarvan in the river. And the first Drake is going to be the Ocean Drake. So we'll have to see who can get that one.
When it comes to priority, it would be this bot lane, but I know how Koops plays his jungle. I love he's very proactive. I mean, he goes the extra mile to assist a lane who already is controlling the lane so far. So he's trying to offer a bit more pressure to at least guarantee a win in the lane.
Yeah, James looking for a gank here.
Oh, he used the blast cone.
GLC has no flash too, so
but he does have an orange, so that's more than enough. He is in the riverside. He will be backing up Hammond. Might rotate towards the mid lane. We're seeing some aggression there. Trevor does not have enough mana yet.
EXO baiting him in. Trevor not going to fall for that
not
one.
Going to take the bait. Trevor knows better. He does have full summoner spell if things go bad for JLC. He did start with a Sapphire Crystal. He wanted to go for a longer laning phase, but the fact that you're facing off against the Shen, I don't think that extra 200 mana counts anymore because he'll be spending that faster than he can save.
Yeah, so EXO TPing into mid. And there's definitely going to be a lot of pressure in the different lanes of TME because Mineski, they have the pressure from both Kaigu on this Shen and EXO with the TP.
Coop sidesteps that dazzle. PG dodges the hook shot. Celestial's there, still not enough mana, so he will be going for a more conservative playstyle. Whereas Marky, he is just itching to get a kill right now. First blood has not been shed. 5 minutes and 24 seconds into the game, still looking at 3-0-0.
Yeah, and JLC catching up on the CS. The junglers are going to have a huge impact on this game, though. We're seeing the lanes, not really much action. So it's all about who will do better in the jungle, Coops or James. Oh, the stun!
Coops! Very low! Rocks gets healed by Marky. First blood is still up for grabs, but that was a really close call by Rocks. He was danger close. Just ate that dazzle.
Yeah, the double summoner spells burned there. Marky had to burn his flash, and Rocks Marky had to burn his heal, and Rocks doesn't have the flash either. So this could be a sign for Mineski to really push into this bot lane. We're seeing James. He's actually moving to the bot lane right now, spotting out Rocks, but no kill just yet.
Well, Rocks does not have a flash ready, but Marky is ready to respond. James is really in a bad position. Four members of Team 8 closing in. Play connects onto James. Here comes the Stand United. Dazzle connects the two members. Here comes the Cannon Barrage. Rocks cannot do anything but give the first blood to James.
Yeah, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. One kill going over to JLC, though, so because he actually did use the ult.
1-for-1 trade. Very even trade, but it's the fact that the first blood went to James. This will boost his jungle role. I mean, he does. Look at that. Takes up the boost up ability already, and now without Rocks in the bot lane, Marky left to fend for himself, but he's not scared. Still confident enough to go against two members all on his own.
Yeah, looking at the CS so far, no big differences yet. So just like I said, it's really going to be on the junglers to help either of these lanes snowball. And looking at the itemization as well, Sheen done for Trevor and for JLC, so that's one step closer to their Trinity Force. Meanwhile, EXO with the Blasting Wand and BF Sword is actually done for Celestial there.
BF Sword for the first pack of Celestial. Good starting item, but for Marky, he did start with the Doran Shield. He'll be staying lane a bit longer compared to Celestial. Still not going back yet. He does have a good amount of CS. Let's see what he buys.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that the pressure here is kind of on Mineski to establish the dominance in the early game. If they let this game go on too long, if TME's laning phase is too peaceful, and they allow JLC, Trevor, and Marky to get their item spikes easily.
Exa goes all in, but does not have enough mana to continue. Will rely on the passive. Trevor uses an exhaust, and Trevor Valkyries away.
Okay, so being trade there, no kills, but summoner spells are burned. James just waiting, but Coops is on his way as well.
One stun and he's dead, so he better know what's up. James is around the vicinity, still sticking in. Might go for the turnaround because he pings here and there. TME knows what's up.
Thresh, or Rocks rather, also here at mid. So much pressure in this mid lane. Trying to keep EXO from snowballing as well.
You gotta make sure Trevor gets a good start. He has not even come in yet with game 1 and 2. This is the third game. Third time's the charm for Trevor. To show Mineski what he's got.
Right, and 8 minutes in. Not any big lead in the goal just yet. And no moves onto Dragon either. We're seeing James moving over to the jungle right now, just putting in the deep vision. You've seen in many interviews, James has said over and over that he does love to invade, especially on these junglers like Elise. So he's going to be putting in that vision, maybe to spot out Coops. No Dragon vision just yet, but so far the vision is in favor of Mineski. They also have wards at Dragon right now. So things looking good for them there.
Ross is just doing his job, providing more control of vision to see where the members of Mineski are, but right now we're seeing that TME goes for a very risky Ocean Drake, but I think this is well thought out. Mineski does not expect yet, but here comes James. Oh, it will be Marky with a red, securing the Ocean Drake, but at what price? It will be Coops is bound ahead, going towards Mineski.
Alright, so that's one Dragon for one kill. The Dragon going over to TME. We'll have to see how that is going to help. No moves onto Rift Herald just yet. And James still moving in. Oh, the hook lands!
Connects it, no follow-up yet. This could be TME just controlling the advance of Celestial and TG. Cannon Barrage for the wave player. Here comes Teleport.
Here comes a full dive.
There goes Stand United. Members of Mineski are shielded from the damage from Marky. Has enough room to roam around. Here comes the Repel. Celestial takes on Marky, and this will be a successful dive by Mineski.
Yes, that's going to be 1 kill, and maybe they're going to be able to get this first blood on the turret as well.
Oh boy,
Trevor moving in from the top lane.
Turret's not lasting long. TME still trying to clear
Oh.
in. Zonoback comes. Trevor goes in the mid lane. Celestial takes down Cubs. Here's the dive by Axel. Pays off really well. Celestial gets the double, and that will be another dive by Mineski. Very risky, but rewarding.
Yeah, so that's going to be... Copes actually died way too quickly. He wasn't able to use the Cataclysm to lock people in, at least at turret range. So much CC chain preventing him from doing anything. And that's going to give quite a lead to Mineski. They've got almost a 2,000 gold lead there. And although they didn't get the Dragon, that's a couple of kills. Actually, Celestial is 3-0 right now.
This will be more of an instant, Zerk's buy. He might go for the static shift next. If he wants to, but he would be picking up the pickaxe, going straight for more damage. And probably next would be the crit chance, would be the shift or the rapid fire cannon. That's a good item onto Caitlyn. But now, so far, gold-wise, Mineski is having a good lead. When it comes to distribution, it's all onto Celestial. The shot caller Mineski, the Korean import, who has been performing really well, entering mid-split against Marky, the ADC of TME, who was performing really well with the Saya, but difficult in a way to execute against Mineski when you have heavy macro involved.
Yeah, have to see. It's important to remember, though, we were expecting Mineski to win during this early game because of their composition. There's not too much pressure on TME to try and win every fight. They just have to make it to that mid to late game. Trinity Force already done for JLC, and Trevor is 1 step away. He's got the Phage and the Sheen. So almost there. Once they get a 2-item spike on their carries, TME are really going to start to hurt, and that's where Mineski really have to respect them. But for now, it's expected that Mineski would get this lead. It's just a matter of them really pushing where it hurts. And JLC is actually caught up on CS as well. He's already got a lead over Kaigu.
A double buff on JLC, pressuring Kaigu under his turret, play in on the TG. Marking with the descendants outside the box, under their own turret. A Cataclysm to double down, and a shutdown onto Celestial. But James will be taking something in return. It would be Coops.
Yeah, so that's going to be 1 for 1. And just like you said, JLC is now the one keeping Kaigu in the lane. Going to be forcing him to recall and then TP. JLC starting to win those trades. Oh, there's a bit of a duel here though.
He took a turret hit, he ate an orange. The slow with the barrel and the speed boost will be more than enough for JLC to back away.
Yeah, he's going to have to respect some of that damage coming from JLC now with the Trinity Force. James,
you got enough mana. Will he get steal though? Let's see. Oh, yes, a smite. So that will be a resource removed from
Corky. Oh, okay. So no cocoon there. So he's going to be safe for now. And Rod of Ages also done for EXO. Just waiting for Trevor to get that Trinity Force as well. And Marky solo farming at bot.
That's actually a very early Trinity Force from JLC. He did get 2 kills thanks to his Cannon Barrage. So that really boosted up his build pass. So we might be seeing JLC performing really well in this Gambler thanks to those easy 2 kills he got. A Triforce, so now he might be going for a Infinity Edge or a Shift. Let's see how JLC will think this out.
JLC, he can't be allowed to snowball. If he is out, if they allow him to get out of control towards the late game, no one's going to be able to stop this guy, and that's going to be a very big problem. We've seen games where JLC just split pushes for days, and there's no one that can stop him. So maybe that's one strategy that TME can go for, where JLC will just split push a lane, confident enough that no one will be able to stop him during that late game. They just have to reach that part of the game.
Yeah.
So far though, gold lead, they've actually closed it down, so it's only down to 800 now.
Well, this is what I've been talking about JLC. When he touches a champion that's supposed to be a tank and converts it magically into an AD carry, this is how he is adapted in the laning phase in optimization. Let's see how it turns out, but for now, things are looking pretty good for TME. 14 minutes into the game, nearing 15 minutes. Itemization-wise, looking fair on both sides, except the fact that Celestial has the BF and the pickaxe.
Yeah. Mineski still winning the vision game though. They still have more wards up. And we're seeing them actually having the vision over at top side.
Oh, JLC actually winning that trade thanks to that orange. James doing a really good job denying vision away from TME. Preventing ganks onto the mid lane gives EXO so much room to grow and deny Trevor even more. Oh man.
Oh,
when once on it up, invest, remember the Mineski. Harris on the turret, rappels away, trades it onto Axel. That's a nice dance onto the turret with Mineski. Another successful dive.
If you can't kill him with one, just bring him one more or two more. And that's going to be a kill there at top, although they're sacrificing some control here at mid. So this might be an opening for mid. And that's going to give Trevor actually room to roam as well. So it's going to be a race, actually, a third race of who can get the first blood turret. Who is it going to be? I think it's going to be...
Race. It would be...
Oh, okay, so it's going to go over to Mineski. So they get the top turret first. So they get that additional gold. Meanwhile, mid lane has been open for Trevor. So who will be able to capitalize better on the turret? Will Kaigu be able to make the Stand United plays? Or can Trevor maybe deliver the package?
This time we're seeing more macro play coming from TME. The Ocean and now the Cloud Drake. Mineski has yet to respond, no vision plays. They don't think it's a priority, don't risk it. And with that said, TME takes down the second Drake, which is the Cloud.
Now we're going to see, since JLC lost his turret, it's going to be a bit of a weird phase where Kaigu will have room to roam. And he's going to have to decide between keeping JLC in check or roaming elsewhere. We'll see how they handle JLC or try to keep him from snowballing.
Oh, look at that. A Serene Dirk and a Clawfield's Warhammer. So
that could go either.
That's it. That would be instantly a Yomo's Ghost Blade. Yeah. So if JLC picks up more lethality, that is going to be very juicy. I mean, when you see that moment about explodes right in your face and you see your life diminishing, like you die instantly, that is a very satisfactory feeling that Atlas will never have.
Man, just slowly breaking him down. Yes. But now we're going to see bot lane pushing in, Mineski slowly moving. And TP is up for both, but that's going to be a free turret. So Mineski, they have one turret up against TME. Actually, it's almost a 3,000 gold lead on Mineski's side because of the recent events.
So far in terms of gold, still not that enough for us to detect who is in lead. Well, we're seeing TME just sneaks in that smite to secure the Skull Crab. More vision on the Herald side, so the next Drake will be Inferno. TME so far getting good lead in terms of Dragons.
Yeah, it's going to be Baron coming up.
Oh, Axel over the wall onto JLC. Everyone is there playing good for JLC. JLC is orange, but still, Axel has that burst on the Diana. He has the Roa.
Yeah, not strong enough just yet. JLC can't be overconfident with these trades and go 1v1 randomly.
Oh, he got the Dust Blade instead. Still a good item though. I love that item.
Alright, we'll have to see Mineski pushing in at mid now. It's going to be a 5v4. And Mineski definitely have what it takes to dive this turret. TME going to have to be a bit careful. Kaigu has the Stand United up. And I think TME will have to give this turret away. Celestial gonna be pushing in. He's got the Infinity Edge completed along with the Zeal. But Trevor gonna be able to clear that one out.
Slowly but surely, but TME for Marky though managed to finish the Blade of the Ruined King. He will be going for a dagger, so Celestial still having more gold compared to him because of 3 kills. Mark has 2 assists, but CS-wise, they're not that far apart. But when it comes to objectives, I gotta say Mineski has 2 turrets, so goal-wise I think it's Celestial's favor, but right now TG does not let Rocks connect his death sentence, so this will be a sort of a soft reset.
Man, very tense game right now. 19 minutes in with a 3,000 gold lead. And again, Mineski 1 game away from getting a chance at GPL and possibly Worlds. TME, this is their last chance to keep the World's dream alive. Rift Herald right now.
This time TME, they're doing the job of trying to deny the Rift Herald. 8 seconds left on the Baron timer. Will be they taking the Rift Herald? No, they don't take it, so they take their anger out on the group. Stand United coming in
Oh,
shortly.
the stun!
TG goes in the flash of stun with a dazzle. Trevor's there over the wall.
No, Trevor!
But he forced the flash over his own wall where he entered. So, Mineski, they did not get their title. TME did a good job on that.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a bit of control over the Baron though. They're gonna have a couple of wards there, and EXO is gonna be pushing. So at this point, Mineski can actually go 1-3-1 and have Kaigu and EXO split push in other lanes, especially since Marky and Trevor probably can't 1v1 them. So this will be a possible strategy they can go for. Baron is live and Infernal Drake coming up in a minute and 50 seconds.
This is a really good Drake to get, especially saying the line of Mineski. They have a Diana and a Lynx Burst champion. They would benefit greatly from this Infernal Drake. So Mineski might take this time to put more vision in their respective river.
Yeah, we actually might see a Baron call right now. JLC pushing down the bot lane, but 4 members of Mineski are over at the Baron right now. Will they go for it? Kaigu gonna be sitting here under the turret. And actually, we might see a mid lane fight instead.
JLC walking towards TG.
Oh.
Oh, the damage and the burn from Gangplank is going to be enough. TG last stun, but he gets locked down by the Cataclysm. Rox gets the kill.
Yeah,
but in exchange for a turret
yes,
in the top side.
on the other side of the map, EXO able to split push, so he's gonna push this top lane even further in, which is gonna make it more difficult for TME to go for the Baron. But actually, TME pushing in all the way mid, so
JLC
are
will
they gonna
be
let this happen? Oh, but there's gonna be the traps though, so this is gonna be a free. Oh, okay, JLC, he's there to respond.
More just in time because we've seen the damage that EXO deals with that Diana into turrets. The 80 damage is too much. Hammett walks into the death sentence. Cubes could not make any work with that. Still, his ultimate's on cooldown, so that would be a disengage for TME.
Yeah, Infernal Drake coming up though in 20 seconds.
Oh,
but the lanes are pushing in Mineski's favor, so this should go to them unless we see another miraculous steal by either Cops or Rox. Maybe a hook steal onto the Dragon, but it's very unlikely as Mineski move over to the Dragon now. And JLC, no TP, so he won't be there in that fight. Kaigu has Stand United and TP coming up in a couple of seconds.
Is there. He does have the Cannon Barrage ready to use if something goes wrong. PG, very chunky. Look at that BP Tarek. So look at that. So defensive. So this will be a front line for Mineski, but JLC will be taking his time to pressure topside turret. Kaigu does not have his Stand United ready yet, but he does have the teleport.
Yeah, so we'll see Mineski. This is probably going to be... Oh, wow, they haven't taken it just yet. There's 2 wards in there from TME, so they know this is happening. JLC starting to move down over the bot lane.
They don't want to get this Inferno to TME. They do have Cloud and Ocean, but
Will
none of that
steal?
matters if you can't get the Inferno! Oh, yes, he steals the Inferno! He go out, get out with a hook! Lantern! Oh, he cannot even budge! PG stun locks him.
Oh man, I think this is the most number of steals we've had in a single best of 5 here in the PGS. Coops just on point with those smites. So they're able to get double
Rox catches EXO, but that would be a death sentence for himself. Camerage is there from JLC. Lucas and
Kaigu
being melted by those barrage, but now we're seeing 2 members of Mineski. Hammers and TG, they're there in terms of response, but this will be TME with good scores so far for the Ocean, Cloud, and Infernal.
Yeah, so double Infernal and Cloud Drake for TME. That Elder Drake could be pretty game-changing if TME can make it to the late game. Mineski right now just still trying to keep up the pressure. It's only JLC, I think, that can 1v1 EXO at this point. So the 1-3-1 of Mineski is still a viable option here. Try to split up TME, force them to make the bad calls. Baron is live now, and it's going to be Mineski moving in to set some vision. Rox is also there. We'll have to see who can set the vision first. But Mineski has this entire bot lane covered. All the wards swarmed over the bot lane right now of TME. Namez and TG doing a good job of keeping the vision up. For TME, it's a bit of a dark map right now.
But for Mineski, they are rising up from the slow start they have. Now it's speeding up. Seeing on EXO, fully stacked their Draw of the Ages. So right now, members of Mineski, they are stacking up health. this will make JLC's job a lot harder. So, when it comes to bursting down champions, I don't think he will be having that advantage he had in the early phase of the game. So, adaptability again coming from Mineski.
Yeah, Trevor trying to defend this. I think it's going to go down. TME going to try and look for the engage. JLC has TP though. Will they look for a flank?
I think that
EXO is keeping him busy.
A risky call, knowing that EXO is, yes, pressuring the bot side right now.
Man, so it's going to be EXO versus JLC down there. Meanwhile, the rest of their teammates going to try and siege for this mid.
Oh, look at that.
Those traps are just keeping TME at bay. They can't move in. Cubs has to find a way to the back line. Otherwise, this is going to be a, it's going to be a free turret. Mineski getting their 4th one of the game at 25 minutes in with a 5,000 gold lead and vision all over Baron. That Baron's ready for the taking. TME still waiting for that power spike from their carries.
This is very difficult for TME because the fact that the top laner is not anymore this tank, so it's more pressure on the Cubs, but JLC being fearless goes on the Axis and the camera and the barreling with the barrels will all connect on the Axel, giving JLC a kill. Well played.
It's JLC's time to shine. He's shown that he can defeat Exosen 1v1, so this might open up a chance for TME to go for the 1-0-4, maybe instill fear into Mineski and make them pressure them into making weird calls as well. Baron is up.
So it's up for grabs. Anyone can take it. TME, they're taking this opportunity to put more deep wards or to deny Mineski any vision. So with Axo's death timer in 14 seconds, he does have teleport. So when the fight does break out a bit too late for TME, Axo is there with the teleport. On to James, he does repel away. That will be enough time to channel in that ultimate of Tarek. Here comes the Stand United. The next on to Marky, he has to back away. He does flash out of that danger zone.
Okay, so no casualties, but a lot of summoner spells burned. Marky has no summoner spells left, and this Baron is in Mineski's control.
So
they've got the vision down.
Yes, Kaigo and EXO burned those teleports, so this is actually a good, sort of a good trade-off for TME.
Yeah,
so this is
JLC
something.
will have the TP up, so he can actually split push right now and try and pressure Mineski in a single lane. Yeah, he's gonna go over to bot lane while the rest of TME move over to the Baron side. Maybe he can find a TP play. The problem is TME having difficult time putting wards on the back line for JLC to flank in. So far in the past 3 games we've seen, JLC hasn't really been able to flank like we usually see him do back in the group stage. So TME, they're gonna have to up their vision game, help JLC find that entrance into the back line of Mineski.
Oh, look at that. JLC spots Kaigo, and look at the damage that Kaigo's bringing in. JLC can't even survive, but he does capitalize on that passive of the Gambrak thanks to those barrels. So Kaigo's health, despite JLC having a disadvantage, still managed to burn half of Kaigo's health. This is something.
Yeah, the itemization for TME starting to really come into fruition now. They've mostly got their 2 core items up. So in terms of damage, they can fight back. It's really just a matter of Copes and JLC and Grox really making that opening to catch Celestial and Exosen. But they can't seem to do it without the proper vision right now.
But this is also good news for Mineski. Look at Celestial's itemization and Infinity Edge. Selection, a rapid fire cannon, but out of the Thompson, Axel gets down into the air. Exhausted, will not deal enough damage. Time's up for Axel. He does flash away, but the Kalakaisa will catch out to him with Coops very low on health. James a bit too late to the party.
Okay, EXO not going to be in this fight, and Baron is up. The vision is there from TME. This could be a chance for them to get this Baron now. JLC, or rather Kaigo, moving up as well. This is going to be a 5v4. EXO doesn't have TP, and it's still going to take 30 seconds. Is it Mineski's turn to go for the steal?
PG a bit too slow. No solo connect. Comes going in. There's a block. No! He survives with the thanks of Charles. Kaigo takes down Marky. No more Marky. Back away, TME.
Yeah, it's going to be no kills there for TME, and Marky going down. So much invested in that fight, and they weren't able to get the kill. This is why Tarek, such a good pick against that kind of those kinds of engages. He's able to use the ult to barely survive there. And now they're going to be moving over to the Infernal Drake. So this is going to be their first one.
Man, that Knight's Vow onto TG and the timing was so perfect. Mineski just baited TME into committing that, leaving Marky defenseless. So this is a good turnaround for Mineski. They do get the second Infernal Drake, with TME getting the Ocean, Cloud, and Infernal. They lack the Mountain Drake to be the avatar of this game. But on to the Elder Drake side, TME will benefit more when they secure that Elder Drake.
Yeah, so let's see now. Gold, not such a big lead right now for Mineski, so it could still be anyone's game. TME still have a chance of blocking the 3-0 possibility here from Mineski. They just have to play their composition right. Hopefully JLC finds those openings. But as for Mineski, we'll see what they decide to do. They can still go for the 1-3-1. But the vision, actually, yeah, they're going to be putting the vision down here over at Baron. And TME, their Baron area is getting pretty dark right now. Oops.
In slowly, he did build defense, and now he does have the Omen and the Spectre's Crowl. I don't think that will be enough, but at least it's something for them to work with. Right now, TG, great placements of wards for him controllers here and there. It's not going to come to James. There comes the circle. James gets the invul, but that's one ultimate down for Mineski. So this gives more time for TME to plan out their Baron, but the 4K golden to Mineski, and Elder Drake will be live momentarily.
Keep in mind, JLC doesn't have his TP, and Kaigo has both TP and Stand United up. So that might be an advantage. He can continue to pressure this lane. Mineski can go for the Baron, and Kaigo will easily respond.
Feels bad. Feels very bad for JLC. Denied of all those barrels, he cannot even chip down the health of Kaigo. So Kaigo playing the game smart, really denying the setup for JLC, leaving him to be distracted to go to the bot lane.
Indeed, and Mineski, Exosen still trying to split push. They are trying to out the 1-3-1 so as to force TME to respond to their playstyle. But right now, TME actually have the vision advantage at Baron. We'll have to see, can Mineski find a pick? Who's going to make the first mistake? Can TME find an engage?
Whoever makes the first mistake has the opportunity to correct their mistakes. So when it comes to, oh boy, JLC.
1v1.
That will be a denial basic attack, but he is capitalizing the true damage from that fire. Kind of a rush from the air. Well, not going to Kaigo. Kaigo flashes away, but JLC, will they make the play? Takes down Kaigo, but the Baron pit is available for Mineski to actually approach it, but at least Kaigo is dead.
TME,
one member down.
This is their chance right now. If they can, James
gets sucked in. He gets down to the air. Marky picks up the kill. Celestial and TG forced to back away. Baron is opened up for TME. They're going to take it. Fearless right now. 2 members of Mineski get staying out. Only 3 members alive. No smite yet. EXO is there. And JLC is pushing the bot lane.
EXO, will you try the steal? Oh no, he won't be able to get it. That's going to be a Baron and the turret for JLC. So this is TME's chance to finally swing the game in their favor. JLC hitting that turret really hard, and that's going to be evening out the turret score. It's 4-4 now at 33 minutes in, and TME for the first time, I think, they have the gold lead.
And look at the money that JLC has. 50,000. Oh! What?
Oh my! A moment of silence for
JLC, how do you do it?
Oh
this is something that Celestial did not see coming. Bamboozled by JLC for the crit, and now Celestial is down. No one to set the traps. This might be TME's moment to at least come back from their 2 losses.
All this time, Gangplank might just be the key to TME's first trip to the GPL, possibly.
Dragging up to game 4, but right now we're going to be seeing Mineski are not going to give up without a fight. They will fight back strong. They still have their pride on the line. They want this finals to be a message to TME.
TME, the flame.
Great deny from Rock.
Alright, so denying their TME, they just have to keep their composure up, continue to make the right decisions. The split push is going on right now, and no one can stop JLC. EXO and Kaigo have both lost to him in a 1v1. I don't know if they can stop him this time.
But when it comes to sieging, at least Celestial's back up online, so he can now
safely guard those turrets, but Rox trying to go for a blind hook. They're not turning on to any members. EXO 1v1, Trevor gets exhausted. So EXO gets the Sonya to stand united. Won't be enough. GLC is on a Rampage. Takes out the mid laner of Mineski.
Oh no, EXO can't keep going for those 1v1s now, because once he gives that up, it's really going to be crucial with those long death timers. 40 seconds for TME to try and take a couple of turns of their own. There's the
Barrage for the zone. Celestial forced to back off. He cannot set those traps in. And now TME making their way inside Mineski space. Ham is going in a bit too close. TG is there with the ultimate. 4 members info. No stun connecting onto TME. But Trevor is very low.
And Celestial has to watch those barrels lest he be popped once more. 35 minutes in, it's a 4,000 gold lead now for TME. And Elder Drake is coming up in around 15 seconds. This is going to be pretty deadly if it lands on TME's hands.
If ever though TME gets the Elder Drake, that's going to be juicy. Especially the fact that that Elder Drake could be the one key objective for TME to at least secure one victory. But knowing Mineski, they have this macro play. They will use it. They will try and deny this Elder Drake from TME.
Oh
and right
my.
now, on the Riverside, we're seeing
this could be the final fight. As we see most of them moving in. Corki, or rather Trevor, actually split pushing at top lane right now. He doesn't have TP, so he's going to have to walk down. Mineski, can they find an opening?
Oh,
there's the lantern in. They're going to go for the dragon, and there's no vision in here. Can they take it fast enough? EXO, he can't TP anywhere. And they might not even need Trevor. Oh, but they're actually going to back out. All right.
Mini is actually just buying some times and seeing how in the top lane we're seeing that Trevor is there, going to push out that lane.
EXO has TP and Trevor doesn't. So he has to be really careful. We're actually seeing James hanging at the back.
Oh boy, the Phantom Barrel will not happen. The Death Sentence will also not connect onto TG. So this might be a start.
TME, their lanes are pushing. They're actually able to push both top and bot right now. Marquis continuing to push. Mineski in a bit of an awkward spot right now.
TG closing in slowly. James forced to pick up some defensive items.
It might just get
spell
pincered
shield. Blind spot for them. Coop spots it with the Demolition Standard. The Elder Drake is live. 5 members closing in onto the pit. Those rocks guarding those 2 entrances. These spots.
Going down fast.
Mineski coming out fast. Here comes the collapse. Kind of a rock for the zone. The Elder goes to TME. And a fight breaks down in the ground pit. And now we're seeing Kaido deep inside. Trevor over the wall. Free to hit. Axel bumps the zone. Celestial is there.
Oh no, JC!
He's away. Celestial is free to hit, but Marky rents him. He takes him down. 3 members of TME down before Mineski. It will be an ace for TME.
TME! It looks like they might be able to win this game. 37 minutes in. They're gonna try and push in triple kill. Trey there from Kups and Kaigu. Man, it would have been even, but that Elder Drake giving TME the boost they needed. This is going to be really pretty long timers. It's around 20 seconds. So this could be a single inhibitor maybe for TME.
They get 2.
Or 2.
That's right.
The soonest one. Yeah, this is going to be possibly 2 inhibitors here for TME. And that's going to really, really make Mineski worried. What can they do? Because the 1-3-1 might not be an option for Mineski anymore. 2 inhibitors down. And will TME do it? Will they reverse sweep this series? The dream's still alive. All right, let's take a look at that replay. So Ren stacks, they're able to secure that Drake. Trevor eventually pushed out here. Celestial's actually able to free hit a bit. JLC almost able to take him out here, but he goes down. Kaigu able to get some pretty crucial kills, but keep in mind, Trevor's able to be to free hit, and he's kept safe for most part because he was able to flash out. So at that point, he was so healthy. It was only Kaigu dealing the damage at that point because Celestial was gone. And so the rest was pretty much clean up there for Copes and Trevor.
But in terms of room to grow, Mineski still has the opportunity. The Baron will be live in 45 seconds. This is an objective that Mineski can contest and take away from TME and just crush them even more from that false hope they gave to TME. So
was that the plan?
Maybe.
But JLC though still keeping up the pressure here at bot lane. It takes 2 to stop him. EXO and Kaigo were actually both down there.
Oh, and seeing how JLC is now picking up more defensive items. The Staircase chance was picked up very early on, but now he'll be getting the Titanic Hydra, which still benefits his parley. So this would be more damage for JLC, and the Baron is live in 5 seconds. Here it comes.
They have control here. Mineski moving into foreign ground.
PG outspotted again. Habit goes in, wins the repel, but he got by time. Delver coming in from Kaigo, a collapse onto Mineski.
Double kill.
JLC gets the double, thanks to the counter barrage. A triple kill, JLC. Oh my goodness for TME.
Will this be it?
Right back.
They're gonna push into the base, and JLC bringing out the cheese gangplank we never expected. Turning out to be possibly the key, and TME keeping the dream alive, knocking on the nexus here of Mineski. And oh my gosh, a 40-minute game with a 10,000 gold lead. They're knocking right now. Oh my gosh, TME.
Knocking on the
They're ending this, and they're gonna keep the dream alive. Ladies and gentlemen, the reverse sweep. The dream is alive, and Mineski, they have to keep fighting to get the worlds.
And TME will be dragging Mineski onto game 4 for a 2-1. Still match point for Mineski, but still we saw in game 3 that TME made a comeback. But let's see from how it turns out though. I gotta say, Mineski did have a really good draft. The animated was gonna be okay, but it's the fact that JLC, his playstyle is to split push as fast as he can and be aggressive, and I think that worked out pretty well. And congratulations to TME for getting game 3.
Yeah, so I mean, Mineski, the question that was supposed to be answered was, could TME make it over to the mid and late game? That was the central question we were asking from that draft. And the answer was yes. Mineski couldn't end the game early enough with the Elise, with the Caitlyn, and that gave all these carries of TME enough time to eventually, you know, snowball and carry the game, especially JLC on that gangplank. So now we're going to be passing it to the analyst desk, but before that, I believe we're going to be having
let's all see the highlights of this game, and I think it was a very fun game. Before we get onto the analyst desk to help us digest this game 3.
All right.
Wow.
Nag-enjoy.
Can't believe
Kala
it.
nyo, tapos na ha. Yung sinabi mo kanina, comeback is real.
Yes.
Diba?
Grabe.
Check.
Ayan.
Yeah, okay, Harry.
Joke lang.
Buhay ulit. So, kagaya yung sabi ng mga casters kanina, this is the first time they've seen JLC.
Yes.
Top lane na gangplank.
Nagalit yung gangplank.
Syempre medyo nahirapan siya sa simula.
Oo.
It's very hard to go
Kasi
against a Shen pa, di ba? Tank pa yan.
Ang ganda actually nung early game, ang ganda nung pasok lagi ng Mineski. Like yung kung paano sila mag-gank. Diba?
Especially power dives nila, grabe.
Nagdo-dominate pa sila, di ba?
Akala ko, malapit na yung katapusan.
But yeah, comeback is real. Diba? We have a game.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Game 4,
Ganyan
everyone.
kaganda ang League of Legends. Kala mo tapos na.
Diba? Yan
Meron
yung sinabi
pa.
ko kanina. Hindi mo alam kung anong mangyayari.
Oh.
So we have a game 4 and possibly a game 5, everyone.
Yes.
So
Ayan na.
we're gonna be here for a while.
Kaya pa ba?
Kaya ba?
Yeah, kaya pa nila.
Biglang nabuhay. Bacchus pa.
Punta kayo doon.
Punta kayo doon.
Ilaw pa yan.
Unlimited Bacchus. After nitong event, may bayad na.
Yung CR daw, may Bacchus talaga, promise. Alam mo galing sa boot nila.
Oh my God.
Grabe, pinipilahan
Okay.
So we understand you guys are tired. Everyone's tired. Kahit yung mga tao sa likod, tired.
Yes.
May mga tao dito natutulog. Because they actually want to hear, they're here to support, diba?
Yeah.
Diba? Kanya-kanyang pwesto yan. So,
okay.
syempre, on behalf of League of Legends, nagpapasalamat kami that you guys are still here and you
Thank
guys are
you,
still
everyone.
Palakpakan nyo
enjoying
naman mga
yourself.
sarili nyo.
Oo!
Ibang klase kayo.
Okay, anyway guys, shout out to Boya Meng. Kasi your friends are looking for you at the VIP entrance. May nawawala na naman.
Diyos ko.
Dito yung VIP entrance. Kung Boya Meng, sana naririnig mo kami ngayon. So, doon yung VIP entrance. Hinahanap ka ng mga kaibigan mo.
Tas guys, request lang. I know medyo pagod na tayo, pero if you have eaten something, yung mga pinagamitan nyo, please, makatulong tayo.
Yes.
Ayan, tapon natin yung mga
Tapon
basura
natin
sa dapat
sa tamang
magkalagyan.
tapunan.
Para hindi tayo masyadong mahirapan.
Yep.
And shout out dun sa mga bouncers natin, grabe. Dun sa may VIP area, 6 o'clock, kayo ng umaga na doon na siya.
Wow.
Matibay, hindi pa siya umupo.
Talaga?
Nakatayo pa rin hanggang ngayon.
Hindi ko
So
kaya.
ginawa ko, pagod na siya, binigyan ko ng Bacchus.
Para hindi umupo.
Imbis na bigyan ko upuan, kuya, Bacchus na lang.
Concerned
Ayan.
ba yan? Concerned.
So,
Actually, next time, or actually ngayon, nagpa-practice na ako mag-shen.
Shen! Maganda siya,
Dagdag
no?
sa champion pool.
Maganda yun eh.
Yeah.
Magaling yun. So, hopefully, next time,
year.
if there is a next time, ayan, mag-top lane.
Magkakaroon pa
pwede
yan.
magpalit. Pwede na ako na lang mag-jungle.
You know.
Sam Conception, mag-usap tayo bukas.
Aba, ayan na.
Mag-uusap.
Ano ba to? Prep na to for
Hindi.
2018?
Meron kaming group chat. Meron kaming group chat sa Facebook.
Okay.
Lahat nagsabi, GG, WP, maganda yung game.
Hindi ka nag-reply.
Panalo tayong lahat. Eh, syempre masaya eh. And also, sa totoo, it's good that we're able, through Garena and through Hope in a Bottle, nakakatulong sa mga tao.
Yes,
diba?
oo,
That's it. It's the whole purpose. You know, charity is a way to give back. And especially, ito, game lang to eh.
Yes.
And you're still helping people. Di ba?
Actually, nakakatuwa, nagkakaisa lahat para tumulong, di ba? Tapos yung nakaipon pa tayo ng 69,000.
69,000.
Hindi biro maghanap na 69,000 ha. Hindi biro yan.
Astig yun. Pero sa tingin ko, dapat tumagal pa yung game para tumaas din yung, yung charity.
Dapat nag-usap
So next time, mga 2 hours na kayo.
Next time, kailangan nag-usap kayo. Mga 50 kills, 6 dragon.
Wala pang Baron yun ah. Wala pang Baron yun.
Wala pa. Dapat pala kapag ganun, may isa pa kayong game mode, yung Aram, para talagang todo patayan lang kayo.
Oo. Patayan lang. Huwag yung push ng lane. Yun lang.
Pero may points
Patayan
din yung
lang.
pag-push ng lane, ah.
Yeah, yung sa
Points
towers.
din.
Yeah.
Oo.
Woo! So again, Rampage 2017 is presented to you by PLD Smart and Garena, co-presented by Lenovo Intel.
So ngayon, game 4, there's still a chance.
Mahirap
There's
na
still a way.
magsabi.
Eh, wala. We can't say if they will really truly come back or panalo na ang Mineski.
Pwedeng matapos na sa game 4 or
Game
may
5.
game 5.
Eh, baka may handang supresa sa atin. Eh, may gangplank na lumabas.
Oo.
Yan.
Diba? You never know.
Ban na kaya yan? Ibaban kaya?
Mahirap eh.
Baka lalabas yung vein sa taas, sa top lane.
Top lane vein.
Or chin.
Biglang
Or Lulu.
naging ADC
Lulu
top.
mag-isa sa top lane.
Pero before, ginagamit nga si Lulu sa top.
Yes.
No.
Before.
Yes.
Before.
No. Lulu top.
Lulu, Lissandra, yung mga AP.
Nasa top tier siya.
Naalala mo yung naglaro
Anong season yan?
Nag-alala mo, naglaro tayo ni na James Reed. Di ba Kale top yung ginamit niya?
Kale.
Oo.
Malakas yun. Diba?
Kale actually
Medyo mahirap sa
annoying.
una. Okay. We're almost ready. Meron kaming parang icebreaker. Diba sa game?
Para mabuhay naman sila.
Oo, para
Diba?
magising sila.
Mabuhay ang mga dugo.
Lagi
Ano daw?
Raffle daw yung t-shirt ni Kuya
Namumura na
Kajo.
sa akin to eh.
Yung t-shirt
Kajo,
niya.
raffle!
T-shirt mo daw, raffle.
Di pwede.
Actually, also, gusto namin mag-apologize din sa mga tao na hindi nakuha nila yung merchandise nila sa tickets. Because, syempre, meron yung mga tao na nag-camp dito, 1 a.m. pa. Diba? So, and it all comes down to first come, first serve. Eh kung pag naubos yung stock, eh you guys will still claim it in August daw.
Yes.
With the next month. So, pasensya lang po.
Dadating naman siya.
Yep. You will
May time
still get what you have bought. Yun lang.
Yan. Eto na. Mukhang kilala mo tong nasa likod natin.
Oo.
Kilalang kilala.
Medyo nag-aayos pa.
Guys pa sila.
Mamaya pa yan. Mamaya pa yan.
Let's go. Grabe. Nagpaalam ba kayo? Nagagabihin kayo ngayong araw na to?
Nako.
Hindi.
Kanya-kanyang dahilan bakit ginabi.
Ito na naman yung nangyari last year eh.
Bakit ganito guys?
Baka tatawagan ka na ni nanay.
Ha?
Anong sabi ni nanay?
Ano sabi mami mo?
Ano daw? Umuwi ka na. Anong sabi niya?
Ayan na naman yung supportive friends. Yan na naman kayo. Wala bang pasok? May bagyo na naman. Meron, di ba?
Basta ito. Sino dito ang elementary ba? Mahiya ka sa balat mo ba? Ayan. High school. Senior high. Ay, nako.
College.
Graduate na. Pero walang trabaho.
At dami.
Matindi to.
Pero may pera, walang trabaho.
Hey guys, i-plug niyo yung ano nyo. Di ba streamer ka?
Yes.
Anong pangalan sa stream mo?
Oh guys, nag-stream ako. Magiging super active na ako starting sa August sa twitch.tv/SuzieSor.
Yan. Follow nyo yan sa Twitch. Ano yung mga Instagram or Facebook?
Just pag hahanapin nyo lang ako, just search SuzieSor. And meron din kaming SuzieSorian Club.
Nakakalakas.
Club. May 5 pesos giveaway kami.
Nag-plug na.
5 pesos.
Ayan.
Ikaw naman.
Ako, I do not stream pero ang layo eh. Pero matutuwa kayo, I do bake.
Nagbe-bake?
Yes.
Sobrang sarap niya mag-bake.
Pero I make cakes for weddings, debuts. Pero the